Say my name. Say it. Say it like you know my sin. Woke up to a world gone black. Every eye on my back. Every voice speaks in code, like they know what I don't. Hands clean but they don't care. Truth dies in the air. I can feel it closing in like a sickness on my skin. They don't want truth, they want a fake, something easy they can't replace. I feel it crawling under my skin. Tell me, where do I begin? Play devil's advocate for me now. Break their story, show me how. If I'm wrong, then let me see. But no one stands, no one speaks. Say my name like I'm the curse. Say it loud, make it worse. If I'm the monster they believe, then I'll be what they need. Every whisper feeds the flame. Every shadow knows my name. I don't recognize that man, but they swear I am what I am. Walls talk when I'm alone. Truth cracks in the tone. Every doubt starts to fade. Every lie feels like fate. No one's coming, no one fights, no one questions wrong or right. If I scream, it feeds the sound of a king without a crown. Play devil's advocate for me now. Tear it open, break it down. If there's truth, let it breathe, or just bury it with me. Say my name like I'm the curse. Drag me deep or make it worse. If I'm the monster they believe, then I'll be what they need. Say it, say it, say it again. Say it, say it, say it again. You want a villain, I can feel it. You need a reason, I'll be coming. You built the cage, I'm living in it. Now watch me wear it like I meant it. Say my name, say my name. Feed the fire, feed the flame. Say my name, say my name. Feed the fire. Don't play devil's advocate for me now. There's no truth left to be found. You made the shape, I'll fit inside. Let it live, let it ride. Say my name like I'm the curse. I am everything you've rehearsed. If I'm the monster that you believe, then I'll be what you need. Say my name. Say it again. Say it like you know my sin. the night out right. Panel at the table in that half-dead light. Miss Robin in the middle, calling every shot, directing and producing till the story runs hot. 1-1 from the city, badge heavy on his chest, towing that law like a wicked chain, spitting facts, no rest. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel, we watch the threads ignite. JJ in the corner, state of the deep in his head. Which lies to toss and which ones to keep instead. Dago from the cafe says forget about it. Leans back, spins his thoughts like a blade cutting holes in the track. Lee at the front, head advocate, steady stare. Every word like a warning, every silence a dare. All of them leaning in, clock crawling, eyes bright. Every secret feels louder than the buzzing of the night. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel, we watch the threads ignite. You can bury it in paper, you can lock it in a file, but the truth bleeds through, drip by drip, tile by tile. We're dragging it to daylight, name by name, line by line. If you wrote it in the shadows, we'll read it out this time. Yeah. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel, we watch the threads ignite.
All right, everybody, welcome to a Crimes After Dark on a frickin', I don't know, is it a Wednesday night? I think it's a Wednesday night. Holy shit, I can't keep track of the days. Anyways, it's a Wednesday night. Looking forward to tonight's Crimes After Dark. We've got a full panel tonight with increasing YouTubers. Robin's got a channel now. JJ's got a channel going. 1-1, we're just going to get him off his ass and get a channel going, and then we'll have that going. Dago's got his channel. Like, everybody on the panel's got their own channel. Shit, I should just take the night off. You guys got this covered. You guys get your own channels. But anyways, thanks for coming on. We'll get the whole panel established on stage. We'll talk about what's going on, the new video that I've got out today. We'll talk a little bit about Sandra. Oh, shit. Did I forget her last name? Bridgemore? We'll get up on stage very quickly. We'll talk about that video, the comparisons that I saw between the Idaho 4 murders and that crazy case that is also now intriguing me. More corruption, more fuckery, more staging of crime scenes. We'll talk about that, how it might relate to Idaho 4 and other things. So let's bring the panel on stage real quick. I'm going to bring everybody up right away. How are you guys doing tonight?
Whoa.
Great.
Hello.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Hello.
Like Diego and I backstage doing the air drum.
Yeah. Our chat is off the hook tonight and every night. I just love it. We have a fantastic international audience in the house.
Yeah,
you guys absolutely rock. Your comments were just loving it as you were coming in. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I
Yes.
love how we have such an international audience. It's super, super cool from literally all over the world. It's a dream
Awesome.
come true. It's amazing. It's amazing. So thank you all so much for supporting the show. You guys have any special things that have happened during the day? You guys have anything you want to report?
More snow.
More snow in
Yeah,
Colorado?
just a
Yeah, you guys
Just a
got
body
hammered
or
with
two.
snow, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a snowstorm when I was heading to work this morning. It melts by the end of the day because it warms up and then the ground is warmer, but it was dumping this morning.
Where did I seen JLR was somewhere in Colorado or by Colorado, but there was like 6 feet of snow on the ground.
Yeah, there's certain parts
know-
that have been getting hit pretty hard with snow. Real not far, 45 minutes away from me. Last night they got 16 inches of snow.
Is that normal this time of year?
I mean, it happens. We get snow in June, July, but like it's just late in the season and we didn't get any snow this whole winter. So
Yeah,
it's,
right.
it's
I
coming
can tell
late.
you right now, 16 inches is not normal. I don't care what anybody tells you. 16 inches is not normal. That's just completely fucking unfair.
Insane.
Right. I mean, nobody needs 16 inches.
Not in
huge.
May.
Yeah.
Not in May.
Yeah.
Happy hump
Not
day.
anytime. Not anytime. 16 inches. No. That's too
I
much.
see the chat is just
Here we go
someone
again.
mentioned. Yeah, Ted Turner did die today. Yes.
Did he
Did
really?
Ted
Yep.
Turner die today?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
He's
my
87.
gosh. The guy
Somebody
owned
else is
everything.
on Rudy Giuliani, I think.
No.
No.
I mean he was real
He's
close
not
to it.
good.
No, he's
Yeah.
fine. He did. He had some kind of surgery or something. He's fine though.
Oh, is he
J-
okay?
I feel like JJ's got a special for about Ted
Rudy
Turner
has
in his
pneumonia.
bag somewhere. Don't you, JJ? You got thoughts about Ted Turner, don't you?
I
You used to work with him, didn't you?
Oi, man.
don't want to.
CIA.
I'd rather not say anything.
Ted Turner owns everything and everyone.
Everything.
So, yeah.
Yes. Doesn't he own the state of Georgia
Well,
or something like that?
probably.
Well, not anymore because
Well-
he died apparently. So that's
Well, he did, yeah. So
JJ,
It's
with all the snow you keep getting, it's kind of a tease. I'm waiting for your special on the weather.
Yeah, well, that one I don't want to hit people too hard right out
I
of
know.
the gate.
well, you got to give us the CIA operative that put out the snowstorm at least.
Yeah,
I
I mean, I will say this, and I'm responding to what somebody in the chat said. Colorado does very aggressive geoengineering. They have like heavily funded programs here. It's been like that forever, just because of the mountains, the ski resorts, et cetera, et cetera. And they were not doing a lot of geoengineering the last few days.
Uh-oh.
So I think we just got late season moisture.
I love no one deserves. Somebody came in late and all they heard is Lee saying nobody deserves us.
Dylan.
Context is everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. So there's snowstorms in Colorado and earthquakes in Nevada. got
We're
thoughts on
all-
the earthquakes there,
it's all
JJ?
coming apart. Not yet, but anything's possible the way things are going.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
I lived in California for a year. I had never really experienced a real earthquake, like a little tiny one in New Jersey when I was a kid.
Right.
And the first noticeable earthquake I experienced in California was freaky. It was very
Okay.
freaky. Because when you're not used to that, it's such a bizarre feeling. So I haven't experienced it in Colorado yet, knock on wood.
I remember reading an article probably about 25 years ago about how California, I can't remember what year it was, like 2032 or something crazy like that, was supposed to be broken off and be a set of islands based on their earthquake activity. And it will no longer be part
Yeah.
of like the United States as it is connected, but it's all going to be broken off, floating as islands at one point. And I'm like, oh, great. That's nice to know for those people.
yeah.
Couldn't pay me.
California,
Couldn't
yeah,
pay me.
it's the San Andreas fault.
Oh,
It's over there.
Yeah. Absolutely
What-
crazy.
When does your channel launch, Robin? When do you have your first video? come out?
Next Wednesday, probably gonna be about like 1 in the afternoon Eastern.
Okay.
Very cool.
It'll be just pre-recorded, so I'm not going to be doing lives. Maybe ever, I don't know.
You
I
guys
have
are
a-
killing me. I'm
I
like,
have
a
good-
I feel left out. I'm like,
But I was gonna say you
Well,
need to get
come
off
on,
your
get
ass
on
now
it.
and get something done. One.
That's right.
well, oddly
Hey,
enough,
just
I
call
oddly
it-
enough, I actually have a channel that has over 1,000 subscribers, but I haven't used it in like 15 years.
And as you say, you don't even want to announce it here, do you? Because you like the never even flood over and thinking it's a true crime channel. And it's
You
like,
need to change the title and call it not NYPD and start doing shit on it.
There you go.
oh shit. So what
All
do we
right.
got? You got a
I got an
monologue for us
intro.
tonight?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Let's do it.
It's
I'm
a
gonna put
little
you full
extra.
screen.
Yeah, a little special intro.
All right.
Is
let's
it
say
good to be
goodnight.
alive?
Yeah.
In
Always.
the den on a Wednesday night. Juliana,
Yeah.
Jackson, and beautiful wife. Love you guys. So, before I start, make sure you watch all of Devil's Advocate's content. This intro has to do with a video that he had put out earlier today. So, I'm sure we're going to be discussing. So, here we go. The most dangerous lies are not the ones whispered in the dark. They're the ones spoken beneath fluorescent lights, behind podiums, wearing badges, delivered with calm voices that tell the public there is nothing left to fear. Case closed. No further danger. Nothing to see here. And for a while, people believe it. Until the cracks begin to show. Until timelines stop making sense. Until evidence starts contradicting the narrative. Until grieving families realize the version of events they were handed feels more like containment than truth. Tonight, on Devil's Advocates, we descend into two cases separated by miles, but connected by something far more disturbing. The possibility that the story we were first told was never the whole story at all. In Massachusetts, Sandra Birchmore, a young pregnant woman, was found dead inside her apartment. Authorities moved quickly. The manner of death? Suicide. A tragic ending. A vulnerable woman. A closed door. A finished investigation. But evil rarely leaves quietly, because over time, disturbing details began crawling out from beneath the surface. Questions emerged about manipulation, about abuse of power, about grooming, about relationships hidden in the shadows between Sandra and men sworn to protect the public. And then came the detail that refuses to die. Federal prosecutors now allege Sandra Birchmore was murdered, strangled, and left in a scene allegedly staged to resemble suicide. Years later, the medical examiner officially changed the manner of death from suicide to undetermined. Not homicide, not yet, but no longer suicide. And sometimes that single change says more than words ever could. Because when authorities reverse themselves years later, it forces the public to confront a horrifying possibility. How close did the truth come to being buried forever? And that question, that lingering poison of uncertainty, is exactly what continues to haunt the Idaho 4 case. The murders of Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Mogan, Xana Conrodal, and Ethan Chapin shook the country because they felt unreal from the very beginning. 4 college students, a quiet Idaho town, a house filled with blood, a killer moving through darkness while others slept only feet away. And then came the narrative, the timelines, the statements, the carefully measured releases of information, the reassurances, the insistence that everything was under control. But beneath that official version, the internet began dissecting every inconsistency like a body on a cold steel table. People questioned the timeline, questioned the delays, questioned the surviving witnesses, questioned the handling of evidence, questioned whether critical details had been hidden from the public from the start. And hovering over all of it was the voice of Kaylee Gonzalez's family refusing silence, refusing obedience, refusing to simply nod and accept every answer handed to them because grief sharpens instinct. And sometimes families can sense when pieces of a story are missing long before investigators admit it. Now, let's be clear, these are not identical cases, but they share something deeply unsettling. In both cases, the public was given certainty almost immediately. In both cases, critics argue the narrative formed before all questions were answered. And in both cases, families became the loudest voices demanding transparency while institutions defended their conclusions. That should disturb everyone because history has shown us something terrifying. The first story told to the public often becomes the permanent story, even if it's wrong. People remember headlines, not corrections. People remember press conferences, not quiet revisions buried years later. Sandra Birchmore's death was called suicide until it couldn't survive the weight of scrutiny anymore. So tonight we ask, what happens if a case becomes too big to question? What happens when public trust is weaponized against public curiosity? What happens when investigators become more focused on protecting the integrity of a narrative than the integrity of the truth itself? And perhaps the darkest question of all, how many families spend years screaming into the void while the world tells them to move on? Because evil doesn't always hide in abandoned buildings or mass killers lurking in alleyways. Sometimes evil hides inside procedure, inside assumptions, inside the rush to reassure the public before the facts are fully understood. Sometimes the scariest thing in any investigation is certainty. Tonight, we examine the darkness between truth and perception, between evidence and narrative, between what happened and what we were told happened. The staged scenes, the unanswered questions, the shifting conclusions, the pressure campaigns, the online obsession, the whispers that refuse to die, and somewhere inside all of it, the uncomfortable realization that justice is fragile, truth is vulnerable, and once a false narrative takes hold, it can bury reality alive. This is Devil's Advocates, and tonight we walk into the shadows where official stories begin to decay, where doubt spreads like smoke, and where the dead may still be waiting for the truth to finally catch up to them. And with that, live from New York, it's Wednesday night.
Hey.
All right. Thank you so much. What a great intro. I do want
Very
to talk. Yeah, very great intro. I love it. I want to talk a little
Thank
bit. We will talk. Yeah, that was great, by the way. I loved it. Thank you so much. That was fantastic. I do want to talk about the Sandra Birchmore. I got to make sure I get the name right. Is it? Yeah, Birchmore's case. I want to even show a video. This is going to be dark, and we are going to get to Idaho 4. I know many of you only come here for Idaho 4, so hold your keep your panties on.
This is an important case, though.
Yeah, it is.
It is. I covered this a couple years back, and it's no joke, folks. So you definitely should hear this.
And there are similarities, in my opinion. In my opinion, there are similarities. We're talking about police officers, for example, in this case, for sure, and it sounds like it's more than one, may have staged a crime scene to make it look like something that it wasn't. And in Idaho 4, we have questions about whether in fact, Brent Turvey, the defense specialist who brought on, said that crime scene has evidence of staging. Somebody staged it. Now, was it police officers that staged it? Was it the killers that staged it? Somebody did some staging of the crime scene. So the similarities are there. Now, when I say this is very adult, this is going to be very, very adult content. I will tell you this. Sandra was 15 years old and part of an junior explorers club kind of thing, a program that happens in a lot of police stations all across the United States. Junior explorers is just a very common thing. So at 15 years old, she came into the junior explorers and met a 27-year-old police officer, Matthew. Remember his last name? I've got it somewhere in my notes. Anyways, she met a 27-year-old police officer, and they started to have a sexual relationship very shortly after that, including him having sex with her on business hours in his squad car and they got into rape fantasies. He would frequently take time during the workday to go and pretend to break into her house and strangle her. She got into choking. They would carry out fantasies, and this is part of their sexual kink. Now, as she grew older, and this started as such statutory rape. Don't get that confused at all. This is a statutory rape case, 27-year-old and a 15-year-old girl. But as she got into her 20s, she was pregnant, and she was found having killed herself, ruled suicide by the medical examiner and another specialist. Asphyxia by suicide, strangulation, and then later amended to taken off the suicide part and just saying asphyxiated, cause of death not certain. And now a police officer is facing trial for the murder of Sandra Birchmore. Now, I want to show you a clip just so we can frame this tonight for the discussion. This is going to be a clip I'm going to show of Sandra Birchmore, age 23, with a baby. She's pregnant. I don't know how many months pregnant she is, but she's several months along. And you're going to see the time frame when the police officer, a very, very large individual, comes in, goes into her apartment, and in less than 30 minutes later leaves, and she's then found dead. And now the question you have to ask yourself at the end of the day, could this have been... So now, let me make sure you understand this as well. The police officer was married and had children of his own. So the fact that she was pregnant, was he trying to kill her because she was going to out him? And by the way, it turned out that the baby wasn't his; it was somebody else's. But did he think the baby was his? Did he think it was going to come out that she was going to ruin his family life and his wife, and he killed her to shut her up from exposing his secret life with her? Or was it just part of their kinky game and they were used to strangling and it went too far and he strangled her and then he went, oh shit, I got to cover it up? Either way, a crime was committed, and it appears that this officer is the person responsible.
And he wasn't Lee. I'm sure you probably know this, but they may not. He wasn't the only police officer that had relations with her. Okay. She was kind of created and treated like a party toy, sadly.
Right.
Okay.
She was groomed. She was groomed from a child.
Very much so.
Right. So, and if you're failing to make the connection to the Idaho 4 case, it has to do with several things. The medical examiner who signed off on this is just being a suicide very, very quickly because the police told her so, right? So people tend not to look to law enforcement as potentially involved because they're the good guys. We believe they're the good guys. No offense, 1-1, but sometimes the cops aren't the good guys, right?
Right.
So in this case, I think it probably is true. Now, let me make sure you don't think I'm a hypocrite. This officer does have the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. But again, what you're going to see on this video is the officer arriving and going, and this is during COVID time, so he's going to have a mask on for COVID protocols, so you're not going to see his face. How convenient for him that you can't clearly identify his face because he's on with a COVID mask on. But he's going to go into her apartment, then up the flight of stairs, and come back about 28 minutes later, and then she'll be found dead in their apartment. So what happened during that 28 minutes when the officer went in and then left at her house? Now he's not in uniform; he's coming to see her, I think, off uniform. But let me show you this clip. So this is Sandra Birchmore in her lobby of her apartment complex, going up to her apartment. Here she is again. I'm not sure if that's him at the door out there. You will see him come in a bit, but it looks very much like the same person. But you'll see it in a minute. She's going to go out. She's going to get a snow shovel, and then he's going to come in and follow her in, and then she will never be seen alive again.
Right.
So she comes out. And this is on February 1st, 2021. The trial is coming up this fall, I believe. He's trying to get bail, by the way, and they believe he's a flight risk because of things that he posted on his phone, basically asking somebody to take care of his wife and kids for him because essentially he's either going to kill himself or he's going to. Here he is. This is the officer here, allegedly. This is Matthew, very big individual. And he goes in at 21 hours, 28 minutes. And he comes back out.
He was definitely trying to hide his face too.
Yep, that's why COVID times, but how convenient for him that it hides his identity. Yeah. And she's dead. She's been killed, and he was the person that went in last and left last, and that's it. And so as I started to look at this case, I started to get eerie vibes of Idaho 4. And you're thinking, well, how can that be? Well, because again, there's rumors Kaylee Gonzalez was seeing a police officer. There's rumors that a police officer had gone and seen her during his business hours when he was on duty. This officer was doing the same thing. He was seeing this girl frequently while he was on duty. And it was known by other police officers. That leads to the other part of the question. How many officers knew that he was hooking up with this girl during business hours and covered for him and allowed him to falsify time cards and that, which is the least of our problems at this point. But and this is from Massachusetts. This is I'm trying to remember the town in Massachusetts. Again, I'm just getting into this story right now, so I have to
you would ask
notes.
me that too.
I right. It's like something with an S, like Shottersville or something like that, Massachusetts, or it's got some kind of sound like that.
Yes, damn it, I have it on the tip of my tongue and I can't say it.
But anyways, yeah. So look, I'm just starting to get interested in the case because I was asking, how many times is it possible that police officers may have done something inappropriate and then staged a crime scene to hide their inappropriate activities, and then medical examiners sign off on it very quickly? Could something like that have happened in Idaho 4? Could the coroner have signed off on whatever they told the coroner happened, signs off on it very quickly, and doesn't really question authority, and they pose whatever narrative they want, and people sign off?
Canton, Massachusetts.
Same, Canton, Massachusetts, and it was the same area that the Karen Reed stuff went down.
Yes. So, anyways, I want to open it up for discussion from the group as well, but our panel first. But if you in the group, if you've watched this case, if you know anything about this case, he's coming up. I think he's asking for bail right now, and again on his phone, they found a note file that he was an unsent message to a friend of his saying, "Please take care of my wife and kids. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do." He was apparently planning to either kill himself or disappear and leave his wife and family behind to avoid this. So they're considering him a flight risk. But anyways, happens every day in Kentucky, the defense rest says. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Good one, Jody.
Kentucky, yeah, they do things differently in Kentucky. Absolutely. So anyways, you said you covered it before, Dago, a little bit. How long has it been since you looked into it?
It's been a couple years, but it is very dark. In fact, if I remember, and I might get some pieces wrong because it's been some time.
Jeff Hanna worked there.
The guy that if I remember right, I know for sure somebody did. The night Sandra died, police officer's wife delivered their child as well, folks. And I think part of the issue was that Sandra was basically tired of the bullshit. She was being passed around too, guys. I'm telling you, it was crazy. He wasn't the only one that was intimate with her. It was pretty sad.
Matthew Farwell is the officer's name. He's a detective. Matthew Farwell. This is from Stoughton Police Department.
Stoughton, that's it. Thank you.
Stoughton. Yeah.
That's the police department, but her apartment was in Canton. So that's how I got confused with that. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Very, very dark. I mean, truly, it was obviously set up. I mean, from what I went through with it, they found her. There was no reason in the world that she would take her own life. Okay, at that point, none. Okay, and you can see it. I've been complaining, we don't get cases anymore that are black and white, cut and dry. This is, as far as I'm concerned, based on the evidence and the visual, this is cut and dry. The man went in and
last to see her alive. She goes in, he leaves, and she's dead in between. So what else could have happened, right? It's very hard. Now, again, the nuance becomes, and I get this is super difficult because the nuance becomes, if they had a game they liked to play of rape fantasies, was it an innocent, quote unquote, innocent game the two of them played consensually that went too far and she died, and then he went, oh shit, I don't want to have to explain this to somebody. Again, it's still a crime, but was it that, or was it flat out premeditated murder? She's pregnant and she's going to ruin my life, and that's how you put it into that shit.
The word was because his wife was pregnant, she was pregnant, she was at the point like, I need a father for my child, blah blah blah, I'm tired of this kind of thing, I'm going to say something. And he said, no, you're not. And then this happened. You know what I mean? So
I'm going to show something on screen real quick.
I have a question for you, DA, before you go.
Yeah.
I don't even like, bringing this up, but I mean, I don't know the details. Was she found clothed or naked?
I'm not sure. She was found strangled with a strap to a backpack, I think. But
Yeah.
I don't remember. I'm just getting into it. So I don't know if she was clothed or she was
I
not
think
clothed.
she was clothed, I believe.
Right. So I'm like, obviously, the
It
question
wasn't a sex
is,
game going on, right?
No,
well, unless there was evidence that he put her clothes back on her, but
yeah,
otherwise, it sounds to me at first, hearing
And-
of it today that she was
Yeah.
pregnant and he did what he
right.
thought he was going to
Right.
do to get rid of that.
and he
whole
wasn't even the father of
situation.
her baby. It's on screen right there. Come to
And
find
this
out.
this is
The
interesting too. I don't know if you
Right.
know this. I know we were just getting some details about this. Her family actually filed a wrongful death lawsuit naming Matthew Farwell. That's who
Yes.
we saw in the video. His twin brother William Farwell and their supervisor Robert Devine. They believe all three men were involved in sexually assaulting her when she was in the
Bingo.
Explorer program.
Yeah,
Wow.
his brother became a
crazy.
police officer as well. Yeah,
His
That
brother.
was-
They were
Yeah, go ahead.
sharing her, from what I remember. There was
Yeah.
a message that I had gotten on this whole thing that they were trading her back and forth. I hate saying it, but it's fact. The brothers were doing it, and the whole sex game thing was all their idea. She just played into it because they paid her that attention from the whole thing I read on this. It was very sad. Sorry, Lee. Go ahead.
Right. No, and look, I mean, before I get it, I was going to show some of the timeline, but you're right. Like, here's the thing, like, and I have to be careful because I realize being a male, I probably am the last person to fucking explain this kind of thing, but I get some people do consent to these kind of sexual kinks, right?
Yes.
There are
Yeah.
women who actually enjoy rape
Yeah.
fantasy. There's men who enjoy rape fantasy, and two adults can consent. Now, granted, we can't call her an adult at 15 years old. Like most states
No.
will say, you're not an adult at 15. You can't consent to that kind of adult play. But there are adults that do participate in that kind of play. So I don't know,
Yes.
for example, if that was something that they had done together. But March 2010, Birchmore, then a 12-year-old, applied to participate in the Stoughton Police Explorers Academy. In 2012, 2 years later, Matthew Farwell is hired by the Stoughton Police Department, and he begins serving as an instructor for the Police Explorers program. By 2012, June of 2012, or September through June of 2012, Farwell begins meeting with Birchmore during her freshman year of high school, and Birchmore tells others that Farwell is helping her with her homework. In 2012, Farwell sends Birchmore a friend request on Facebook. In 2013, Farwell gets married. Farwell, then a 27-year-old, has sex with the 15-year-old Birchmore, allegedly committing statutory rape. Evidence suggests that they began meeting up to have sex in Farwell's police vehicles and other places regularly. Farwell introduced the idea of choking during sexual encounters, and the two of them continued a sexual relationship that features rape fantasies where Birchmore would pretend to be a victim of Farwell's simulated assault. Farwell used sex acts to punish her for getting bad grades, having intercourse with other people, or lying. William Farwell, the twin brother of Matthew. Now it gets interesting. Twins, right? Twin brother of Matthew Farwell becomes a Stoughton police officer in 2017. In 2020, Matthew Farwell texts Birchmore, "I'm going to sneak away from work." It's part of an alleged pattern where Farwell would shirk his police duties while on the clock to meet up with Birchmore. Then in 2020, Birchmore texts a friend telling him that Farwell had taken her virginity before she was 16 and that they had been having sexual relations for almost 10 years. Another person tells Birchmore that Farwell's wife is pregnant with the couple's third child. Birchmore is told that the child is due in February 2021. Birchmore prepares a draft text message to send to Farwell's wife telling her that Farwell has been cheating on her since before they were married. Records indicate that the marriage was never sent to Farwell's wife. In October of 2020, Birchmore presents Farwell with an ultimatum that he agreed to have unprotected sex with her with the goal of conceiving a child, and in return, she would not disclose the nature of their relationship. Birchmore sends Farwell the details of her ovulation schedule, and the two start planning their sexual encounters around specific times of her cycle. Now, again, this is a very, very, very adult subject. So Birchmore, is agreeing, it sounds like consensually, to play a game of, getting her pregnant. And again, so the question becomes, how much of this was a game that went too far and how much of it was premeditated murder? So October 12th, 2020, Farwell and Birchmore have an argument about the nature of their agreements. Now they're saying, wait a minute, maybe we didn't understand each other. Farwell states that their compromise was to try to conceive a child once. Birchmore disagrees. Birchmore texts Farwell in 2020, Birchmore, how do you feel about us having a baby, you being there and signing the birth certificate? There's never going to be a need for you information anyway, so you'll be safe there. And I won't talk shit about her or your kids. That way we both get what we want. And look, I don't want to get, maybe I'm going off the rails. I understand the kink, right? So this guy's got this big kink, oh, look, you're going to have my baby and nobody's going to know. We're going to keep it all a big secret. And they're all getting off on this whole thing. I can get that whole game, sadly enough. But the question, this sounds like premeditated murder. What it sounds like is once he realized that she was going to out him, he kills her. And then even gets perhaps other officers, his brother, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the details.
Yes.
Maybe you know better than I do. To help cover up and stage the crime scene to make it look like something it's not. That's the part that I'm getting to is will police officers that engage in something inappropriate stage a crime scene to make it look like something that it's not? And did that kind of happen in other cases? Anyways, I won't read all of the details because it seems like it's quite lengthy. And I was just going to read some of the highlights, but that's some of it.
Yeah.
I'll have more about it, I think.
It's interesting. Yeah. He's actually trained in explosives, this guy.
Wow.
Is his brother a fraternal or an identical twin?
It's a good question.
I think they were.
Like how closely
they were
resemble
identical.
each other?
I thought it said identical twins.
They were.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I always remember when I covered that. I remembered a couple of times we had talked about that people had sent things to me stating that they believed that they would go back and forth pretending to be each other at times, and messing with her head and stuff like that. It's sick. The whole thing is sick, you guys.
So that Dago, that adds the wrinkle. Like with the mask on, do we know which brother did it? Like, do we know definitively?
That's my
what
point.
I said. That's what I said back then. Like, we don't know for sure which one did it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Right. Because I mean, they would even have similar DNA. I mean,
if they're identical, right?
My twins are identical, and their DNA is identical. Period. So
right, exactly. So did his brother have an alibi?
I don't remember how that went down. I can't remember.
Okay.
I don't even know if they've looked into his brother. I can't remember his name right now, but
William.
Is it?
It's William.
Okay. William, thank you.
William and Matthew Farwell.
Matthew, and then okay, William was the brother. But again, like I said, the whole thing was based on the fact that she was tired of the game. The whole I'm not your toy. I'm not going to be your sex slave, whatever you want to call it. And said,
they were into some crazy stuff here.
Or I'm going to tell your wife. And he said, no, you're not. And that was the end of it. The man walks in and she leaves and she's dead. It's cut and dry as far as I'm concerned. So
and it's interesting that the baby that she was pregnant with wasn't his child.
Right.
I'm presuming it's also not the brother's child. So then the question is, did she, like you said, did she get tired of the game and she had found another relationship that she wanted to move on, but they kind of kept her trapped in it? And who knows? It's way early, but it's a crazy
I got that. I mean, listen to this: from April 2020 through December 2020, William Farwell. So that's the brother. Exchanged sexually graphic text messages with Sandra Birchmore on multiple occasions, including photographs and videos of his nude wife and other individuals having sexual intercourse. So this is like a whole
these guys were
big mess.
They
this
really
is a
were
whole
sick.
big
And this area, you guys, nothing against anybody that are they fraternal, or I thought they were identical. Anyway.
I thought the article said identical at the beginning, but
I thought so too, but it's okay. No worries. Thank you for correcting me. This whole area though is so, if you guys remember what went on with Karen Reed's situation, like Brothers in Blue and all of that, the blue wall, and again, no offense, one, because you're one of the good guys. So it doesn't affect you, but
sometimes
they support and protect each other in everything, you guys. This area is very bad with this stuff too. Very bad. There's people that are, go ahead.
The article does say twin brother. So does twin indicate identical, or is it still fraternal?
No, because there could be fraternal
twin could be
as well.
Fraternal twins, right? Fraternal twins, right?
So that's my apology. I swear to God they were identical, though. I don't know. Anyway,
But
So
even
she
so,
does.
fraternal
She does
twins
have a
can look
history. Yeah, go
quite a
ahead,
bit
Rob. I'm
alike.
sorry.
Oh, I
Yeah.
was just saying, fraternal twins can still look quite a bit alike.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
But she
yeah.
she does have a history of threatening to harm herself as well.
She did.
What I'm
She
reading
did.
here, May 19th, 2020, the police went to her home for a well-being check.
And the sad
Uh,
part,
Yeah.
yeah, the sad part, and I feel like maybe I shouldn't talk about this shit. I don't know, but the sad part is young girls probably are a little already susceptible to older cops, right? Because it's there's a lot about that the older authority figure, he's a tough guy, he carries a gun, and it's an allure for a young girl, which is another reason why it's called rape, even though she may have consented, because she being young may not be fully understanding her own feelings about the whole older man kind of situation, and she got in over her head. So then she ends up in a situation where she's attracted to officers, and maybe it was consensual at some point, but at the point that she decides that she's out, it shouldn't lead to murder.
No,
And,
agreed.
yeah.
And I can't remember what
exactly.
the age of consent was there. Either way, shame on you. I don't care how old, what the consent age is. You should still not be doing this shit. And look what it turned into,
No.
truly and honestly. So,
Yeah.
thank you, Christine. I received it.
Well, a lot of the research I had to do when I was researching in college for internet predators plays off of that same theme, where you have older men communicating with young women, like teenagers, basically on these chat boards and things like that. But the tricky part of it is, and this was like really controversial when I was actually doing the research and the presentations, is that in a very high percentage of the cases that they derived this research from, which was all law enforcement data, the younger people that were being sort of preyed on knew that these men were older men. So in a lot of the cases, it wasn't like what you would think, where it's some older guys pretending to be younger to meet them. They knew, like, I think it was really high, like 73, 74% of the victims knew that they were talking with an much older person, and still met with them in person.
Yes.
And that was like one of the threads in the research, is that you can't put your head in the sand and think that these kids are automatically being innocent and they don't know what they may not know what they're really taking on, but they were aware of this. So parents would have to kind of understand that younger people are interested in older people, and oftentimes they are interested in sex, and it's an uncomfortable topic, but the data bears that out. And it's like, you get that a lot, is people that are older, they know how to manipulate younger people.
Right.
And that's where stuff starts to go sideways.
Good
Right.
point.
Yep.
And Jody's comment is spot on. He was law enforcement. He abused his position of power
Thank you.
and coerced her. And so that, even as if she had been an adult, it negates consent.
Abuse of power. Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yep.
And yeah,
Spot on.
and Jody would know. She's heavy into the Letcher County thing, and
Right.
the whole point of Ben Fields was in uniform. There was a perception of people need to do what the officer says, kind of thing. So he started her relationship in uniform. He had a position of authority over her. He was potentially, I guess, one of her probably leads in that Explorer program, because he volunteered in the Explorer program and she was in. So he had a position of authority over her, which makes in a lot of states what they call aggravating circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So how does it relate to Idaho 4? Let's bring it back to Idaho 4.
Oh, well.
Are we making a major stretch? I mean, to make it an Idaho 4
Police
connection?
corruption
No.
is the number one thing right there, in my opinion. Police corruption is the first bomb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's the
Right.
thread that we've talked about so much, right? Is
Yeah.
the rumors. right?
Yes.
Because the rumors are
Rumors.
hard to substantiate, but they were persistent rumors.
Mhm.
And I think though that
There could be,
that body
yeah.
cam footage would be really pivotal in explaining certain things.
Body camera footage and AVLs. We need those AVLs. Because
Yeah.
that will tell a lot.
I did submit again
I know.
the pushback. I unfortunately I didn't send it out until this morning. I forgot to take it to the post office on Monday, so I sent it out this morning. But it's on its way now, officially certified mail saying, "Hey, I won't insert the words. Hey, you by Idaho state law, you have 10 days to respond, and it's been over a month. So, WTF? Where's my
Makes you
files?
wonder. It makes you wonder why they're delaying it, Lee. Is there has to be,
Right.
well, in my opinion, there
I
has
think
to
it's
be
one of the
something they're hiding.
biggest. Yeah, I think it's one of the biggest things they don't want to answer. It's a
Yep.
it's a huge one. I
So-
think it's one of the ones that worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dago, the thing, I saw part of it. I know I wasn't there for the whole thing, but what you were covering earlier, I thought was pretty
Dylan-
interesting.
Dylan the
well,
Devil.
well, Dylan the Devil, but that whole thing about, is there another camera at
Oh yeah.
1118 or whatever, that what Steve was talking about? Is there another camera that we just haven't? We don't
More
have
than
access
more
to?
than just one other one. He
Right,
made mention
right.
of like multiple that has a way better view of different things, and it's not been made public.
I'm
And
just-
I said that. I knew
right.
that.
Right, I'm just saying that because what, like, I mean, I know if they're all acting and whatever, sure, but if they're not acting, like, why, why would they say, well, we
Right.
saw that they arrived home, we saw them get into, we know that they got home at this time, which, yes, I know they can be acting and like, but
Sure.
if they're so sure that they saw the video, because you can't see them come home from 1119, that's
No.
not possible.
And
No.
Right.
And to point out that the reason why I was so headstrong on that is because when Rory went there on foot, I played him live as he was walking through,
Right.
and we were
Right.
saying, look for cameras, look for cameras. He pointed at least to 3 more that were directly facing the 111 or 1122 house, and would have shown footage.
You know what's
Clear
weird
footage.
about that, Dago? It's interesting you said that because it's really weird. I remember seeing, I don't remember which body camera footage it was, but I remember seeing clearly 2 officers at night when they were getting the body bags ready and whatever, having a conversation outside. And one of the officers says, it's strange that in this entire neighborhood, there's only one camera that's the 1119 or 1112 camera.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
they said on that conversation there was only one, but yet I keep hearing people talk about all these other cameras in the area. So was that officer quote?
Yeah.
There's 3 options. Was the officer lying? And there is more, and he's just trying to say, oh, there's no other cameras, or did he think it was and he was wrong and there was other cameras, or what's the story there? Because he said
Let
there's
me
only one
let
camera.
me ask you something real fast. Since you brought that up, I like that you did that too, because it was probably the Morris body cam. If you're saying when they were removing
Yes,
the body,
I think it was
right?
Morris. Yeah.
Which was the night of the murders, the night that they found them out.
Yeah.
So how do you know at that point there's only one camera?
Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
and
ask
You
that
haven't done your
question first.
canvas.
They haven't done much of. I mean, they did, but not enough to know all these
No,
things.
No.
you would just
No.
the officers on scene would just do a real quick walk
Thank
around.
you.
The
So how do
detectives
you
do
know-
a follow up. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's
How do you know that night already that there's only one camera in that entire neighborhood? That's a huge fucking problem for me. I'm sorry. Which means prior to and how that's not the case. Because when Rory walked around, now they may not have been active cameras, folks. I'll say that, okay?
Yeah.
Directly from 1122 diagonal, there was one on the back of the White's apartments. To the
Yeah.
left, there was one on the corner house on the corner there, and there was another one in between those 2. That's 3 cameras. Now, they could have been inactive. I don't know why you would have them if they're not active. But again, everybody was saying that area was the Harlem of Moscow. If you remember, it was a bad area. People refused to deliver food there because it's a bad area. People refused to pick up, people for Lyft or whatever because it's a bad area. So I can understand cameras being there. Why are you not using them? And that's why when I
Right.
covered that today, I pointed out that Steve said that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is. I'm glad
Yeah.
you brought that up, though, Lee, because that's an interesting point to make.
Right,
Well,
right. Yeah,
yeah,
he
and
clearly-
Whitcomb said there were other cameras. Remember?
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
I've
Mhm.
never
Real quick,
doubted it.
let's give a thanks real quick to Jen S. Jen
Thank you,
7S. Thank you
Thank
supporting
you.
the
Yes.
yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
you're a regular supporter, so thank you so much for coming in and donating
Right.
to the cause. Yeah, those the comment on camera again. That's what I was saying. Was the officer who said it? I can't believe there's only one camera in this area. Uninformed, and that wasn't true, and he just didn't realize it.
Right.
Was it a flat out fabrication for camera so that people would hear that there wasn't any other cameros?
Thank
Like,
you.
that's the question you have to ask yourself. Like, was he just not aware that there were cameras, or were
I
there not
mean-
other cameras, or like, who knows?
That's a good
Yeah.
question. Could it have been something put on body cam on purpose, like you
Right.
said, to make it? Hey, this needs to be heard, right? Okay. He even said that one of the cameras was able to watch Jack DeCore walk into his apartment and go to bed that night. So that'll tell you something too.
I want to now that you mentioned it, I want to bring this up because I keep thinking about saying it. So I'm frustrated in part. Moscow's making us pay good money to get
Oh yeah.
footage that is redacted,
Mhm.
and all the stuff that we want
Yep.
to see is redacted. So you pay hundreds of dollars to see something because you know it's critical, and then when you
Yep.
get it, it's garbage because it's redacted as shit and you can't hear it. So then you're like, it would be nice if they told you, hey, by the way, it's going to cost you $700, but like 90% of it's going to be redacted. You're not going to hear anything. That'd be nice to know ahead of time. But here's the
Yeah.
thing. I still would argue we're doing the right thing asking for it, because I think people don't realize how many the devil's in the details. Sometimes when you see those body cam footage, you will see somebody they didn't realize was walking by at a certain time. And it's
Yes.
now date time stamped about when somebody walked by in the
Right.
in the distance, and they didn't necessarily
Right.
catch it. And so that helps you nail down. I know so-and-so was there because on such and such officer's camera, you see him walking. So sometimes it's not even what you're fishing for that's important. So keep going after those body cam footage, because even if they redact the piss out of it, something's
Yeah.
going to slip that you're going to see and go, oh my God, there's so-and-so standing right over there.
Yep.
and
Right.
on
Right.
officer so-and-so's body
Because-
cam.
Absolutely.
Every little bit of information we have is important. Every little piece that we get is another piece in the puzzle. And it's also another way of trying to hold their feet to the fire. So
Yeah.
it's still important to go after this stuff.
Christine
Yeah.
Hurd makes the point I make all the time. The reason why I think they're charging exorbitant fees for their body camera footage is because they know they're going to get sued to fucking kingdom come.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
they're trying to raise money for the lawsuits that are coming. So they charge you a ton of money, and they're getting a war
Yeah.
chest together because they know they're going to get sued. And so they're asking for crap ton of money because they need to hire their lawyers when this goes sideways.
It makes sense. It does.
DA, do you have that body cam footage handy where the CI one?
I don't. I need to. Amanda might have it if Amanda's watching.
That's,
She's like
because
You guys would
of
be
Punisher.
surprised how many people I've seen on Reddit recently
That say it doesn't
who don't-
happen. Yeah,
who don't even know that exists.
Yeah.
right. It was
You talking-
Yeah.
the one with Captain Lanier and Gunderson.
Yeah,
it was
talking?
it was Lanier
It was
and Gunderson.
Lanier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
Lanier for sure. Was the one that was said to, but
I think
it-
it's Gunderson's body cam. I can't remember which one though.
and I think
Um,
Connor posted it. So let me see if I
he
can
did.
find it, and let's see
Because
if Amanda,
I've
is Amanda
I've
here?
like seen comments and where you mentioned people will say something like, well, why would they be covering something up? Like what in that was going on with the house
my
that
God.
the police would want to cover up? And I would say a
Everything.
simple thing like, well, if there were potentially at least one CI, maybe more in that house, then they wouldn't want that to get out, etc. And then they come back with CIs. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I also think it's very, I know, you have where Robin made it a very key point on this the other day. Words mean something, how they're used. So, and I know sometimes in our language, like someone says something and you're like, oh, well, I think, when he says victim, that could be Dylan or Bethany. I don't think so. I mean, we'll play the video. The way the way that the comment is said, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's referring to one of the homicide.
Oh my,
victims.
absolutely, yeah.
I don't think he's referring. I don't consider Dylan a victim. I'm sorry.
No.
No.
I know she
He says one of the victims, and it just
Yes.
clearly to me is
Right.
one of the
because
victims.
Yeah.
because
period.
I know there was an argument there, like, oh well, it could have been Dylan.
No.
Dylan could be. If Dylan is
Real-
a CI or whatever, I don't think that comment had anything to do with Dylan.
Real quick, guys, I just want to thank Kawanda 9102 for their
Awesome.
amazing
Thank you.
donation. Thank
Amazing.
you, thank you,
Oh
thank you.
wow! Holy shit! I didn't even see that. Thank you so much. I'm
Thank
sitting
you.
there
Very
I'm
awesome.
digging on the site. Thank you so much. I was digging for that Gunderson video. Thank
I'm
you.
That
looking
is
forward
amazing.
to-
Thank you.
I'm
That
looking
goes to
on
the-
Gunderson Part 2, and I
That's
don't.
what I was looking on. I was looking at
I
Gunderson.
know
Sure,
it's at
man.
it's at the end of the video too, Lee. So
Okay. I didn't think it was it in part 2 or part 3? Because he's got a
That's what
3-part series.
I don't see it in 2, so I'm gonna go to 3 now and see if I can find it there.
I think Amanda posted it already.
Oh, did she? Of course she did. She's quick.
Yeah, just
Because
check.
you know that.
Oh, it's
that,
not
Yep.
Gunderson.
that
not
one
Gunderson.
piece of evidence. We all kind of touched on it when it was came out, and a lot of people did.
Oh, here it is. Oh, fuck.
Is it Snyder's?
Hold on. I found it.
Yeah, it is Snyder,
didn't-
Part 5. I got it right here. Right here. If you
Yeah,
wanna-
Amanda posted.
Yeah,
it
she
in
put it in
Teams.
teams.
There you
Thanks,
go.
Yeah,
Amanda.
I've got
Yeah,
it.
Good job,
She
Amanda.
actually, we were too busy talking about it. I think she posted it like 5 minutes ago.
God
Yeah,
dang it.
Officer Snyder Part 5 for those of you that want it.
Amanda is the Jamie of the Devil's
yeah,
Advocate show.
yeah, exactly.
Jamie, pull
She-
that shit
Yep.
up.
Jamie, pull that shit up. Yeah, that's Amanda. Yeah, we got to figure out a way to pay her for that shit or something. But hold on, I had it. Hold on, I had it handy. I was going to show it on screen. Here it is. All right, let's pull this up. I'm going to go YouTube.
Great job, Amanda.
I think so. It's only 58 seconds in its entirety. I mean, we may have to watch it again to find out where exactly it is. But I'm gonna do this. Let's go.
It is
here.
down at 4:16.
All right. Entire screen. Shoot this. Give us a sound at
You might have-
4:16. You think?
Right around 4:16. I have it up
Well-
on my screen now.
Well, the problem is this is only a 58-second file.
Yeah, it's right in. Oh, she had the clip. Okay, then it's
Yeah,
right.
just play the clip. Yeah,
All right.
it's probably.
You guys ready? You guys ready?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yep.
All right.
There was a party last night at that house. But
Put on the closed caption if you can.
I'm looking.
There you go.
I don't know the names of the victims.
There it was. And it's super hard to hear, but he says, I don't know if you know one of the victims is a CI. Now, the captions don't catch it. That's why it's a little deceptive. I'm going to turn the captions off. Listen carefully right here.
You got to make it loud.
Okay.
Use your headphones.
Oops, there it was again.
He's very quick and quiet about it.
I don't know the names of the victims.
Yeah, yeah.
He
And
said the word
and
CI.
saw-
right
yeah.
there. Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
I'm horrible. I'm horrible with audio. I never hear any of this shit.
Yeah,
When
I'm not a
people
big
play stuff,
fan of-
and I
yeah.
actually can hear that.
Yeah, let's do it one more time. I'm going to back up a little bit further because he talks about that one of the victims was a CI. And there's redaction, so it's quiet right here.
I don't know the names of the victims.
Anyways, it is one of
It
those
is.
hard to hear because it happens very fast. But he does. To me,
It's
very
definitely
good.
there.
I
Yeah.
thought it was
Yeah.
the other guy who said it to him.
No, that's what a
no.
lot.
No.
Yeah, a lot of people said Lanier said it. Was said to
No.
Lanier, and
We-
wasn't
It was
Lanier.
said to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was Lanier saying it. We thought initially that it was Snyder saying it to Lanier, but as I watched it back, it looks like it was Lanier kind of whispering
Really?
it. He didn't. If you watch his mouth, it kind of matches.
All right, one more time. I'll put it full screen.
I don't know the names of the victims.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
I
Yeah,
still
you're
think it's
right.
the other person that said it, but I see
No.
what you're saying. It's really hard.
Let
it's
it
really-
keep playing. After that, I just want to
Okay.
hear if I hear
All
something.
right, let's go
else.
back. Let's do it one more time. I'm going to play it, and then we'll play it. I'll play it all the way through.
I don't know the names of the victims. Okay. I don't know the names of the victims.
Oh yeah, he was trying to hide that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got quiet, pulled him to the side and everything and said that. So that tells you right
Yeah.
there it wasn't supposed to be talked about.
Yeah, and I hear one of the victims was a CI. Now,
Yeah.
and again, I'm not a fan of
Yes.
like
Yeah.
enhanced audio and shit like that, but
I know.
it's there.
Some people are
and
saying they can't hear it. If you put on headphones, you'll hear it.
Yeah.
If you put on
Yeah,
put on
headphones
headphones,
would
Yeah,
be better.
put it
I got
loud.
noise canceling headphones on, and I hear it.
Yeah,
very
you will.
clearly.
You will hear it. I agree. I also. I most of the time I can't hear any of these audio stuff that people say, but I'm able to hear that.
Yeah, well, that right there, in my opinion, is one of the most significant things in this whole case
Yes.
because that explains a lot of things.
Yeah,
Why
if there was
they
a
wouldn't-
CI, they would hide. They would try to.
Yes.
They potentially would cover up what happened in the house. One of their CIs got
And that's
burned.
why they're covering up what happened and everything. Yeah, it makes
And
perfect
also the
sense.
school,
Yep.
you know, wouldn't want that to get out to the public as well.
No,
Yep.
because then they're going to be like, well, what are they a CI to what? And then there comes
Right.
all the crazy questions.
Right.
What do you mean?
And
What do you
especially
mean?
when you
What do you
consider
mean? You
the
have
contract.
right. I'm going to say you have a student.
And one more
working,
time,
you know.
one NYPD not representing NYPD. I'm going to go step away off camera, but I want you to explain to people again. You don't have to be a criminal to be a CI. Can you explain that to people?
Sure. Yes. I have numerous experience dealing with CIs, especially in an area that I don't work in now in Manhattan, in Upper Manhattan, in Harlem, and Washington Heights. CIs give you some of the best info that you can. Yes, if you're gonna say, well, you have some of these like guys or girls, they try to make deals and whatnot, so they can kind of do their thing on the side. You leave them alone, they'll give you some good info on guns and heavy drugs. Yes, that happens, but you also have just because you have an area of high crime, okay, they're a good for whatever the situation is. There are good people too that live in Harlem and Washington Heights and all these places, just like anywhere else that people live. And some people want, they want the neighborhood to be cleaned up. They want their kids and they want to be able to play outside and not have to worry about gunfire and gang violence and all the shit. But they
Right.
don't want to do it. They don't want to just walk into the police station or just walk up to the cop. They work out, they make deals and stuff on the side. Like they may even, a common thing is having someone who may treat like detectives or officers like, like they're pieces of garbage, like trying to
Mhm.
act like showing the opposite, like they really don't like you, but in a sense, they want your help. They're trying to hide.
Also, do you
Right.
know how many people think that that CI means criminal informant, and that's not
That's
Yeah.
not.
No.
It's not what it means.
No.
confidential
no.
informant, folks. It's
DA,
not criminal.
someone in the chat saying play it at a slower speed. They think they hear them saying parents in there also, like as if they're saying one of their parents was a CI.
All right, hold on.
I never heard that. I heard people say that before, but
And that's the problem that I have fundamentally is we all are hearing different things, which makes you not have to, then you don't want to trust the audio if we all hear different things. That's what scares me the most.
Lanier says a lot of things he probably shouldn't. In Morris's body cam, he's going off about who was at that point the lead investigator, Tyson Barrett, and he's talking about like talking shit about him in
Yeah.
that same body cam too, and it's like, dude,
Where's the
Well, this is a
control? I'm
great-
on YouTube. I'm trying to get the control to slow the speed down on it. Can I do that? on
Margaret,
YouTube? Oh, playback speed. Here
Margaret,
it is.
you
go
hit the
down to your
point.
settings, and then it'll give you options to slow it down.
You hit the point exactly, and I know Lana covered this a few times too. She got fired up about it on her show. You're talking, we have the contract between the college and MPD, and they were like, I mean, how you're exploiting you think that they really care about some of these students? They want the information, they want to get promotions, they don't care about these kids,
Yeah.
and it's a shame.
All right, so I do have the video queued up where I can play it at half speed. How's that? Is that what that work? We'll try it at half speed.
Shout out to Lana. Hi, Lana.
Lana's here. Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
I didn't see her slip into the DM or whatever the chats, the DMs. Slipping into the DMs. Lana, how are you doing?
Okay, what's up, Lana?
Truth and spread. You're always welcome to come up on screen if you want to join us on screen. All right, let's play it at half speed and let's see what happens. Give me a second here. Ooh, that's hard to hear. Okay, that's the redaction part where it gets super quiet for a while. Is half speed going to be too slow? We'll see. We'll see what happens when it comes
I
up.
did this and it played out okay.
I don't want the names of the victims.
Yeah, that's super hard to hear.
The background noise with it, right?
Yeah, the background noise is fucking ridiculous. Let me fix it. See. Son of a bitch.
It's hard to get that sound out.
Yeah, playback speed. We'll do it to. I don't know if we're gonna be able to help it. We'll do 0.70. So we'll go back a little bit. All right.
I don't want the names of the victims.
I mean, you do hear CI very, very clearly. But the context is
CI.
super hard, hard to understand what the CI is about. But CI is super easy to hear. The CI is very easy to hear.
After that came out, somebody brought it to my attention that they have spoken to a source that they have with this, and that the way it was presented, and it still relates to one of the victims, that the CI did not reside at the home. Okay, they were one of the victims, but they didn't live in the home. If that makes any sense to anybody, the way it was explained to me, I didn't catch it at first.
Well,
Meaning,
who else would that be other than Kaylee then? Or Ethan. Yeah, Ethan. Because Kaylee wasn't living there either because, well, technically she wasn't living there because she had been staying at her parents for a couple of weeks. But yeah, Ethan would be not at all living there.
Exactly. That's kind of how I took that when I heard that. Like, okay. So it's interesting that came out like that. I was like, well, okay, that could make some sense. And that could explain, like I did a show the other night about what the hell was going on around Ethan that night. Something seemed off. Other people were saying he was off. There were weird, like, statements made by people and things he was doing. So if he was, maybe he was nervous about something. Maybe that's why Maisie got upset because she heard something. Maybe, who knows? But it would be interesting. I'll just say that much.
Maybe we're not going to know because everybody's fucking lying on this case, like lying at their ass.
Yeah,
Another
maybe they're
problem,
all.
Yeah.
Maybe they're all CIs.
And by the way, as I'm going to digress, maybe I'm going to digress. It bothers me fundamentally when people are coming out furious, like Ann Taylor and her team, that people are starting to talk.
Yeah,
why the fuck are you furious that people are talking? If it happened the way you said it did, what is there to afraid of? Why that, like, wake up, everybody. If they're furious that people are talking, that means it didn't happen the way they said it did because they're afraid somebody's going to, like, it should be common sense. If it happened the way they said it did, there should be no fear of anybody talking about it because there's nothing to hide. They clearly have something to hide, which is why they're pissed off that people are talking.
And she just did. She just talked about it.
Yeah.
Well, the defense
whatever.
The defense team definitely should not be pissed off. If you're truly
Right.
and honestly defending this person against the crime, you should be happy that that people are talking. And it seems like that's the exact opposite. It's very questionable for sure.
And more importantly, I get bothered by this. I don't want to victim shame. Why is Olivia Gonzalez coming out and shitting on people for talking about things? Again, if it happened the way you guys all said it did, and you guys want closure, then why don't we all just admit that that's what happened instead of saying, shame on you for talking about what happened? Why? It's real simple. It was an incel, remember, that went and killed all 4 people. So just open up the records and show it to us. Like, that's all.
Right.
Like,
That's
why are you-
right.
why are
That's
you
why
mad?
right
Why are you
there,
mad?
Lee. Because
Yeah.
it's going against
Right.
that narrative that they will not let go of. It has to be Brian, no matter what. It has to be Brian, all by himself.
Mhm.
It has to be Brian. Period. And anybody that says anything, opposite of that, shut your mouth. Don't talk about it.
Yeah, he did it. Linear did have a very worried look on his face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The whole time.
I think. And when did
Yep.
he retire? He moved away right away after this.
He retired very quickly after this all
retired.
went down.
Yeah.
Very
Yep.
early too. My understanding was he retired early. And if you remember, on Smith's body cam, he's standing in the kitchen with Corbin Smith that night, and he had that same look on his face, and he's on the phone saying, "We got to come up with what we're
Yeah.
going to give the media for this."
Story.
And like, there was something up with all of that. I think he just seemed way off. So
Because
Yeah,
my guess is he
that's
knows
probably
exactly
why,
what happened.
Dago, because they didn't want their crafting of a theory like what we all heard on that body cam footage when he said that they're back, coming up with a theory is
Yeah.
because right out of the gate they were like, "Oh shit."
We can't let that get out. Yeah, we can't let that get out. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And then, like I said, he went into early retirement. Well, why? Why did you leave so quickly? You don't want to be connected to this, do you?
Come on, man. Nothing happens in Moscow, man. You're paranoid.
Of course. It's me. That's right. My paranoia is real, folks.
I felt like we got a little paranoia when we were there. People
Yeah.
like asked,
I don't
like,
blame
what
you.
are you guys doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
Look what happened when Lee went back. I would
Yeah.
be paranoid. Jesus Christ.
The creep. Everybody I know, by the way,
yeah.
Dago. Speaking of that, when we went back, I was going to say. So yeah, JJ and I both we got asked a lot of, what are you guys doing here? Like, there was a lot of that inquiry, which maybe is just normal curiosity making. But when we went back and Rhonda and I walked into the Corner Club, and I hear this universally from every person who's visited the Corner Club. Everyone turns and stares at you, and you feel super uncomfortable until you fucking leave. Like, you walk into that bar and you're clearly not
It's like
welcome.
the
Which
music
makes-
stops.
right, and it makes you think, what
Or
are
you're
they doing
removed.
out of what are you doing out of the Corner Club that they want no part of anybody coming in there? Like, do they run drugs through the Corner Club, and they're suspicious immediately of anybody who comes in being an undercover cop? Like, what is going on in the Corner Club that everyone stops and stares at you when you walk in like you don't belong? I've never seen any bar anywhere that you treat you like that. When you walk in, everyone's like, "Who the fuck are you? Get the fuck out of here!" Like, why
And
is this a
then-
private bar? Is there a membership that I didn't know about? What's going on?
And when Rory went in and bought his drink, he went out on the patio, sat down, was on his laptop. He could have been, he was working, but he could have been working on something different. And there was people staring at him the whole time, like you said, until he was told to get the fuck out of the bar and do not
Right.
come back here. Dumped his drink and said, "Don't we know why you're here? Get out now."
Well, if that was any other situation besides this crazy case,
Yeah.
there are some hometown bars that are real territorial,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and they know immediately if you're from out of town. Like
Mhm.
they know instantaneously, like that guy's not from here. These people are not from here, and a
But
lot
what
of
is
those
their big fear? What is their big fear about
But
outsiders?
but in this case, it's obvious because of all the people that flooded that town,
Yeah.
and I'm sure did that same exact thing. Because everybody early on that was boots on the ground there was
JR.
all over the Corner Club, all
Yeah.
over the Mad
Yeah.
Greek.
Oh
all
yeah,
over-
right.
JR was like 10 feet from the frat door.
Yeah.
Look.
So that
was-
part I
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
But like small town bars, man, are very weird like that. Like they don't want it's different where I live because it's a tourist area. So
Right.
nobody, there's constantly people who don't live here popping in and out of the local bars. So it's different here. But when you go to when I go back east and I go to like the local yokel bar, at first when I walk in, even though I grew up there, people are like, who's this guy? You know, they know everybody that goes into those places.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck this case, man.
DA, can I ask you guys, all of you guys, something?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this? Because you guys have done way more digging than I have. The rumors, right? The ones that we all know what rumors we're talking about. It's what DA was referring to earlier. Is there a path to tracing that stuff more potentially to like maybe where it originated and try to pull on that thread? Because it's pretty clear they don't want to give up the information that would point to certain people being at the house at a certain time. And so if I don't even remember where that originated. Do you guys remember?
Which one? Which thing?
Was that something
With the
Bubbly brought up?
LE
About
law
Taylor
enforcement
and-
person that
with,
was
with Tisdale, and you could say the names.
well,
Oh,
was
yeah.
the
and
Rosie
Tisdale.
rumor.
Well,
Rosen-
I mean, a part of it, a big
Okay,
part of
okay.
it has to do with, I mean, there's a few things,
I
but a
know.
big part has to do with Molly, because Molly, you know, first said, oh, you know, she was going to be used, right? She was a star witness to, you know, she saw a BK, which we know she didn't.
Right.
And then that video came out where she said, oh, she had to testify and blah, blah, that got thrown out the window.
Yes.
But from that, I mean, she basically describes in the corner there when where she was, when she's delivering the DoorDash, on the side of the house there, she basically describes Tisdale in the from the car. I mean, she doesn't say his name, she describes someone that fits the profile of Tisdale. And
kind of the only person that did fit. He's the only one that does fit it, based on the fact that he's driving.
Said she only saw one person in the house, so this is why this would go along perfectly if we were able to get the AVL of the stuff. And this is why I believe, however she knew or whatever tips they had, this is why I believe Ann Taylor knew something was up with that, whether they were involved in the cleanup or whatever happened at the house. It still would be something to look at, right? Why is this guy
right?
Yeah.
Do you know? Have you ever seen or do you know anything about whether or not police departments reject requests for AVL data? Have you ever seen it happen where somebody requested AVL data from NYPD and have they ever coughed it up, or do they just uniformly reject that kind of request?
Public information. I mean, I could
should
tell
be,
you
but
it is, because I could tell you one of the first things that happens when there's an officer involved shooting. So, like, usually the commanding officer of that whatever unit it is has to go to police headquarters, and we have a force investigation team. The police commissioner will probably be involved, and whatever chiefs. And one of the first things that they do is they put up a map and computer digital screen, and it shows the AVL. It shows where all the cars. It shows where everything was. So it's public. It's public information.
I'm just curious how Moscow is going to deny the request for the AVL data. Like, what is going to be their basis?
They're going to probably tell you some bullshit, some nonsense.
Yeah. Well, what I was actually trying to get at was the specific rumor.
Yeah, well, it's
going way back.
Well, a big part of it came from Molly, came from that whole thing, because we knew. So there was it was even before that, like, oh, maybe Kaylee, because I know
was her interview, Molly's interview.
It was it started a little before that because some people were asking like, oh, Rosenthal, why when he goes to the noise complaint, he takes a picture of her ID. And I'm trying to tell people that is not unnormal. Okay.
Yeah.
That happens all the time where at my job where I am in New York, they take photos of the ID, they go back to the car, they do the warrant check or whatever. That's not, I know some people like, oh, why did he take, but he got the phone number and he got this and there was nothing that was like out of ordinary of that. But from that, and then Molly saying she sees Tisdale by himself in the car. And then along with the information we have that Ann Taylor was specifically asking for officers' info on their text messages and stuff. Why would she want off? I have almost never seen that. Why would
whoever's
Ann Taylor be
typing,
asking?
it's coming through pretty loud.
I think that's right. Why was Ann Taylor asking for text messages of officers? And I'll tell you why. Because as I've said many times, either if you have a text message from Rosenthal to Tisdale, let's say he went to Kaylee's and not even to whatever fool around. Let's say he went. Let's say he went to Kaylee's to return.
If she's a CI,
right?
Yeah,
let's say he went there to return a book. Okay,
let's
not even think of it something nefarious. He returned a book to Kaylee. Kaylee lent him a book, right? Well, what is he gonna say? He's gonna tell at some point he has to message Tisdale. Okay, I'm ready to be picked up, or he's gonna call. So
I always return books at 3 a.m.
I know.
Yeah.
But now,
right
now if there's no text message, of course we could see what the text message is. Right now, if there's no text message, a call is just as bad because they're partners. You go wherever your partner goes. Why would Rosenthal be calling Tisdale if he's standing next to him? It doesn't make sense. So,
right. And then the question, and then it's really difficult. Like, I hate this. So if you're Tisdale, let's just theoretically, if Rosenthal is doing something he shouldn't be doing, does it make Tisdale a good guy or a bad guy to not like reveal that shit? I'm not sure that guy was doing something that he should have been doing. Like I can understand, like, I'm not going to rat on my fellow brother.
He's not going to rat on him.
Right. He's not going to rat on him. So
no, he's not going to rat on him.
Does that make Tisdale a bad guy for not ratting on him? It's like, you can almost understand
why
he'd be like, that shit's, well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, where do you draw the line on that?
If you question him and he lies on it, then you got him for perjury. But I said, that's why you need to, you have to be able to ask these questions and get the info. That's what the AVL is
right.
key.
And if you're partnered with this guy for the night and there's a murder that happens in his house, this, and your partner was in the house at some point, and you don't come out with and say, hey, by the way, yeah, he's my partner, but at some point I know he was in that house. Then I think you're the bad guy. I'm sorry, because in my opinion, you're hiding information that could be very informative in this investigation, in my opinion. So
I could tell you that a lot of cops would easily hide that.
Of course.
Sure.
Because he would just say, he would be like, oh, I was just, whatever. I had to see Kaylee or whoever he wanted to see. And look what happened. Be like, don't worry. I got you. I got you. I'll
exactly.
Right. Yeah. And again, it's a difficult thing. I'm not even saying it's horrible. That's the thing. It's a moral gray area. I'm not even saying it's horrible for somebody to be, I'm just going to mind my own business. I may not agree with your personal choices. If you're cheating on your wife and you're sleeping with the college girl and you're doing it on work time, I'm just going to like pretend like that didn't. I can almost understand that. But again, when a quadruple homicide happens,
bingo.
Now all of a sudden it changes things.
Bingo.
Right? Now you got a quadruple homicide. Yes. Are you still going to shut your mouth and not say, well, fuck? Like, I wouldn't have normally said something, but 4 people just got killed.
That's why,
so now I gotta.
And that's why that AVL would be highlighted. That would be the first thing they'd look at. Be like, weren't you two idiots supposed to be watching the house? Where the fuck were you all day?
That might be why we're not going to get it.
Yeah. You were half a block away. You stopped you stopped 4 idiots for drinking a beer, but you know
What if
what's going on?
shows,
Why?
Yeah.
what if it shows them stopping in the back corner of the house and Rosie getting out and walking in the back door of the house? That right there is the reason why they're
Right.
not going to give it to you, Lee. End of story.
Right.
'Cause-
And they'll redact that.
Well,
They'll say
it's
that
not
there's a
gonna
reason for the
show-
redaction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it wouldn't show Rosie walking to the house, but you would just see that the car was stopped.
Well, isn't it the dash
corner.
cam, or am I wrong on that?
I
If
don't
he
know.
were to
if he
walk
had-
out in front of the car and walk into
Well,
the
no,
back of the
yeah,
house.
yeah. If he had
That's what I
dash
meant.
cam, yes.
What is
Alright.
this?
But
What is this? Pav has the
I've-
brother walking through the house to bring the dog to Jack. Do you guys know what the hell they're talking
I
about?
apparently
No,
he had
I-
a video. I was busy today. Apparently he has a video that came out
Brother.
today where he
I haven't seen it yet. No,
Yeah. So
something
who?
with
I
Ethan's
mean,
brother.
Hunter?
Hunter?
Hunter Chapin.
Yeah, Ethan's
Hunter
brother.
Hunter Chapin's
something-
bringing the dog back to Jack Decor.
No shit. Oh my God, you guys.
That would be fucking. That would.
Oh
be a
my
bombshell.
God, you guys. Jesus Christ. Every day, there's
something
every
else. I know.
fucking day.
Well, remember we spoke about Ethan's brother. I think that was one
Oh,
of the
yeah.
big
Oh, I
reasons.
think he knows.
I think that's one of the big reasons why the Chapins were going nuts over the damn why they wanted the
Okay.
all the body camera stuff gone.
I have to.
because
I have to ask this. Like, and shit.
Yeah.
Somebody cut me off if I need to fucking shut up. So I have to ask, Hunter Chapin, how could he know what happened to his brother? And so, because there's all these allegations that Hunter may have come back during the cleanup window, that
Yeah.
he knew what happened.
I
So
think it's highly possible.
do we
Yes.
really believe that Hunter would betray his own brother and just lie about the murder of his brother? Like that's the hard part. Like, and
Well-
and one more thing I'll say about that. One more thing I'll say. I know that the documentary that came out very, very late, I think it was it A&E or Amazon, one of the A things, did a documentary. It was the first time we saw Hunter Chapin. And he was smiling and laughing through most of that video. And I thought to myself, man, that's just fucking weird. Like, why are you smiling and laughing about your brother getting killed? But then I thought, well, look, everybody grieves differently. and
Yeah.
it's been time. And so I kind of passed it off. Is
I
there any
think there's a
part that we
strong
think-
I think there's a strong possibility. We don't know the actual truth yet to it, but I think the Chapins were going nuts over the body camera stuff and all that because I think there's a strong reason to believe that the brother went to 1122 at 4:30 and probably picked up Bethany. Bethany probably left with him. I don't
Is
know if
Hunter's-
Dylan left.
Is Hunter's Jeep in the parking lot of the 1122 King
Yeah.
Road residence?
Yes.
You mean
I
you mean
believe it.
Ethan's
Yeah.
Jeep, the red one? Yeah, I
Ethan's
It's
never
a black
moved.
SUV.
Well, Ethan's red Jeep, right, is there, but isn't Hunter's
The black
black-
SUV's there
yes.
too.
Yes.
The black SUV.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, in the book, it
Yes.
claims that was what Ethan used to drive them to the
Right.
Hunga Dunga, whatever that thing
Right,
was,
right,
and then
right.
back
the Hunter
Yeah.
Dunga Down.
9:30, and it never left after that, supposedly, quote unquote. But
And I think
Yeah.
they're trying to hide the fact that whatever happened, and I think they're trying to hide the fact that all these kids knew at 4:30
Right.
in the morning. They all knew. That's why we need
And-
Bethany's iPad as well.
Yeah, and this is important. The Jeep, the car was not broken down, so that's not the reason that it didn't move. It was operational.
there was no battery. It was bad battery and all that. Yeah, in the red one.
Yeah.
And here's the question for you though. Let's say that was the truth. Okay, maybe
Right.
if Hunter knew this, okay, knew something happened, that could explain how his reaction when he walks up in Nunez's body cam. There really was no reaction. He just kind of stood there as Hunter J was over there talking to him the whole time. He kind of strolled up, stood there, talked, listened, didn't say much of anything. And honestly, so if he did know about this, the way that the Chapins reacted to this whole thing, okay, Stacy came out very quickly and made a
Dude, you're
statement
typing.
saying- your typing is beyond loud.
Yes.
People get
Crazy.
pissed at that in the chat.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was it? What the hell was I saying?
The dark hour. Were you gonna talk
Yeah,
about
she
that?
comes out very quickly and makes a statement about this was not a love triangle. There was no drugs involved. She gets in front of the
Oh yeah.
narratives that are being presented as fast as she can. She makes a statement also, which has nothing to do with it, about maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. That she walked over there that morning and her son was still in the house. Whatever, okay. But why are you out here faster than anybody putting out these things real quick to try to put these little fires out? There's that. Does and the statements that were made, the way that it was explained that Hunter told her about this is very weird. Okay, it's very strange. So what one was saying is maybe that's why they were freaking out about the body cams and stuff, because what if there is, on some chance, by some chance, stuff that, or not body cams, but the body cams. I'm sorry, that there's something on there. Okay, that can be seen, and therefore that night as well, you also hear that Maisie was upset. She was crying. What is going on? There was something. I did a show about this 2 days ago, you guys. Something was up with Ethan. I swear to God, and everybody that surrounded him. And I almost wonder
Yeah.
now if Hunter did know about this. What if there was a threat behind this? Okay, this is your brother. I get it. They're triplets, folks. What if there was a threat based on all of this? Everybody that knew about this, everybody that knew something that had to do with this was threatened somehow.
Mhm.
Okay, there, and even your own brother, if that, the threat of possibly it being you and your sister next, you're not going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting
But
to me.
it is interesting, but it just if that had happened to my brother, there's no way in hell I'd have gone back to school there.
No, I agree with that too. But
Yeah, yeah. I agree
unless
with that.
like what Jack Showalter said, which is a very interesting statement he made in his second interview. I covered it. I froze it and stopped, and I was like, "I'll be damned." He made a statement during his interview, and he said,
Mm-hmm.
If you were not involved in this, then it wouldn't be no big
Yeah.
deal to come back to school. If you had no
But
involvement, which means one, at least it sounds to me like he knows who's involved, because he said
Mhm.
he had never had a threat. He never was scared. He was never worried. You know who was targeted here, then, is what you're saying. Okay? And
Yeah, but
therefore,
that makes it almost worse
well, to
because
some
I
extent,
wouldn't
yeah.
want to associate with known killers who had killed one of my siblings.
Right, right. But if these kids are thinking of this way, Robin, it's like, oh, I wasn't the one they were looking for, so I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Which is,
Yeah.
See,
it's sad, but I mean, think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that it's pretty obvious. The cover up is probably a wider thing than it seems, right?
It's
Like, I
very
think
big.
a lot of people know what happened and who was at the very least involved. And I think that in that area, because remember, we're obviously not going to get the full truth, because there's been a very concerted effort to make
Yeah,
sure the public doesn't get the actual truth.
very much so.
So that's why it's so difficult, this case, because the question is why? Why is there such a concerted effort?
And a lot of times, a lot. Sorry, Dago.
No, you're
a
good.
lot of times, in books like Framed, you will find that, and Judge Napolitano, is it Judge? Was he a judge? The guy that did the books on various things about. Anyways, the point being is that it is not
Napolitano.
uncommon. It is not uncommon for them to protect assets and lie about shit and put people away for things they didn't do to keep their assets on big cases. So
Yeah.
if there's a big drug case involved, or if there's a big thing that can cost the university tons of money, it's not outside the realm of possibility. I'm not saying that's what happened, although my gut tells me it is, but I'm not saying for sure because I don't have the receipts, but I think we're getting close. And I think that's why they're not answering certain things that we're asking. Because I think we're barking up the right tree. I think when we were asking for things about the master services agreement between the university and the Moscow Police Department, and what officers were embedded and where their cars were that night, that's a question they don't want to answer, because I think that's
Right.
barking right up the right tree. They know that shit. Like, why are you fucking asking those questions? You know something, and they don't want to admit that at all, in my opinion.
One of the things that 3 years ago, Sausage just said it because she said it on Birdie's last night. When WSU mom Kim came out, she was on my show. 3 years ago, she said she asked her daughter, "Why do you want to be there? Why don't you want to stay home? You don't need to be there," so on and so forth. And she said to her mother, "You don't have to worry about it, Mom. You don't have to worry about me. They're not after me." 100%. It was targeted, folks. That's the fact that it was targeted. There was never a worry
Mhm.
from anybody that was not in the circle of people that was being targeted. End of story. That's why they went back. And I think about this now. That is kind of creepy if you think about it, that the Chapins obviously knew that too and sent their kids back there without fail. They knew at some point had to know that the other two were not targeted. Therefore, it was okay to send them back. They were going to be okay. That's a scary thought if you think about that for a minute. Very scary to me.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, and again, so here's the thing. I mean, I've said it. I'm beating the living piss out of a dead horse. But if it happened the way that they said it did, why not just unseal everything? Why not
I
open the
agree.
files
Right.
up, unseal everything, and let us see it, and prove to us that what you said happened really happened, because that's exactly what happened, right? So just show it. Just show the receipts. Instead, what's happening is they're still gag ordering shit. They're still making people not talk, and they're shaming for people for talking about what's happening. When people say, "Hey, it didn't happen the way that you think it did," and they're like, "Shut the fuck up already! Quit talking!" Like, what are you so
You're
goddamn
right.
afraid of?
Right.
Agreed.
It's clear it didn't happen the way that you said it did, and it's more obvious now than ever.
Yeah.
And I think that books like Broken Plea with Christopher Wickham are just starting the tip of the iceberg. I think it's going to
Yeah.
be a shitstorm in the
Which
next
is
couple of months.
It is.
why
And
his
I can
book is
also,
driving
Definitely.
everyone out of their mind.
yeah, and I'm not going to give you. I mean, it's still worth trying and bitching at them about it. They're probably not going to give you the AVL data, because the AVL data you would be able to match against a lot of the body camera
Sure.
footage as well, and then you would be able to clearly concrete, like, to say, hey, people, we paid for this body camera thing, and according to the AVL data, there's supposed to be a police vehicle here. How come it's not in the video?
Right.
Did you manipulate the video? And then you're gonna get, it's gonna compound the questions, and they don't want to answer that.
I mean, that's a great point too. And you know what? It's a little bit haunting to say this, but going backwards a little bit to that whole Chapin situation, Stacy said, Jim and Stacy both said they will not be going to any of the court hearings. They won't be going to the trial. None of that.
No.
They would not have anything to do with that. They said it's not going to bring Ethan back. So I almost wonder if this was an acceptance type situation where they said, you know what? Ethan got involved in something he probably shouldn't have. It's horrible. We lost our son. You know, this, but he got himself involved in this situation maybe, and they accepted it in that aspect and said, it's done, it's over, move on. And that's why they were like that with that. It makes me wonder. It's very sad to think, but it makes me wonder.
Well, it seems to me like the CI angle and that house itself being very significant in this whole big picture
Yeah.
would explain why one of the first things that Fry said was this was an isolated, targeted attack, because they knew they know that this house was involved with an operation previously somehow, and so they maybe a lot of that footage that we've all seen that seems clearly manipulated was manipulated because we would have heard things being said, perhaps, that would have revealed some of the things that they're trying to conceal, right? Like things that people may have been saying, right, going into the house or standing right outside the house. And we could have heard certain people that they clearly don't want us to know that were potentially there, right? So that to me is a logical leap to make for the whole CI angle, the operation angle, that house being more significant. And to me, it hasn't swayed my opinion about what Koberger was really doing with this whole thing. You know, I'm still very confident in my theory. Now, I'm at a disadvantage. We're all at a disadvantage. They're never going to come out and go, ta-da, here's the truth. You know, but I'm still very confident that Koberger was inserted into this. His name was given, as we know it was, which was
Yep.
even confirmed in the Whitcomb book, a tip, because he was working with somebody already. So they said, whoop, we got to bring one of our people in so we can control the narrative, right? If you have somebody that you can present to the public as the perp, the old lone gunman narrative, then you can control the narrative. And that is still my opinion. That has not changed. I promise if something sways me, I'll be the first one to come out and say, you know what? My theory's not holding water. I still think that Koberger is somehow working for or with one of the agencies, potentially local, but since there was an operation in the area, it's likely connected to other things too.
Good point, JJ. Very
Yep.
good point.
Yep.
I
Hey,
know
by the
that's
way,
like not a fun, you know, because my theory hasn't really changed much, so it's kind of boring to talk about it, you know, but I can't go against what I feel and what I believe.
no, of course not. And you shouldn't be expected
Well,
to either.
no, no. And I mean, you may very well be right, JJ. Like you said, they inserted him in here somehow. I mean, where did his name come from? You know, they
Right.
didn't just throw a bunch of names in a hat and pick it out of a hat. So
He
it
was
came from
chosen.
somewhere.
He was chosen, just like Ann said. Yes.
Right.
And Birdie
Speaking,
covered
Right.
that stuff in recently, right, guys? He covered the Koberger as far as like an internship type thing related
yeah,
to the funding.
yeah, he
Right.
did talk about. He still talks about it, the funding thing. It pretty big too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking
And
of,
there's that angle, and that could very well be as well.
yeah, very, very, very true. Speaking of funding, I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but um, there was a lot of speculation and questions about the leak investigation being over, so on and so forth. And Fox News put out an article and a thing on it that it is
Yeah,
still
I
very
saw
much
that.
going on.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So,
I saw that. Yeah.
and why is this thing taking so long then? If this investigation is still going on, and now they're throwing the I've seen it a couple places where it's being talked about that they're trying to throw Ann into that investigation as looking into her now as being the possible leak, which
Yeah.
makes no sense to me unless, and I don't
Yeah, I
want to
saw
go
that.
there, but unless they were all in it together, which would be
Mm-hmm.
absolutely upside down to me. But in this point, I'm not going to doubt anything. Okay. That would be
Yeah.
insane to me, but truly and
Well,
honestly,
I mean, her reaction right now is like off the charts.
this is
To Turvey, her reaction to Turvey is a little
it's
bit weird,
definitely
just a little
questionable.
bit weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
questionable. And how is this
Yeah.
taking so long? Answer that question.
Yeah.
This came
They
out.
should know where that leak came from by now.
I think they do. I think they
So
do,
are they,
honestly.
so why can't we know where it came from?
Teresa, I agree. I don't think they're really investigating it.
Well,
I
not
never
anymore. I don't even
I
know if they ever did
I
investigate
don't
it.
think they did. Look, how much have we been lied to about? Right.
right,
So to
right.
me,
Yeah.
I literally don't believe a single thing, literally not one single thing we've been told about this case.
Yeah. It's very hard to believe anything. Anything. Truly.
Yep.
The Dateline link, the leak for Dateline, Randy. All the information that got put out on the Dateline hit piece was information that shouldn't have been released. That's why it's considered a leak.
Dago,
Okay.
I just saw something. Somebody sent me something. I don't know if I can grab it real quick. Somebody sent me something that said that investigation into the Dateline leak is still underway, and
That's
it
what I
named
was just talking about.
yeah,
Yeah.
I got information about that as well. Like the who's in charge of the investigation is
Yeah.
still ongoing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had that same thing. And I
'Cause
was
I
looking,
thought they were not even really looking, but I guess they are. Somebody
No,
is
I
still
think they,
looking into it.
yeah,
yeah, they
think they
named
are.
names and everything on it. So I mean, they're
Yeah.
going to have something to show at some point. So, and I don't believe that Turby leaked it. I don't believe that. Um,
No,
it's
But
interesting
what are
now,
they
he's
though.
going to do about it? Like,
Yeah,
like
Well,
what
what
can you
would they
do?
do?
No, here's the thing. I think I honestly believe this is what I believe. I think Christopher Whitcomb's book, even to some extent Cy Ray's book, are timed.
Yes.
And I think whistleblowers are about to come forward. I think
Yes.
major things are going to happen. I think people want to talk because I think
Yep.
I've said it a million times. I've said it a million times. Even good cops don't like bad cops. I think there are people in law enforcement who don't like
that's
what
me.
happened. Right? Yeah, I know it's you. That's why you're one of the good ones, man. Like, look, and I think there are people who are starting to whistleblow. I think the whistleblowers are coming forward. I think people who are starting to get themselves protected as
Yep.
whistleblowers, and the shit's going to go off the hook soon. I really believe that's
I
happening.
said it. Yes, we've been saying this for a while, you guys. Like, there's
Yeah.
some shit. It's rolling uphill, and when it blows, it's gonna fly downhill. I'm telling you.
Well, again, I'm going to have to disappoint people that have heard me talk about this. Leaks, controlled leaks are standard practice in operations. You leak information that's either completely fake or you leak a certain amount of information, but it's designed to steer people towards whatever narrative
Yeah.
or distract away from something else. So, in my opinion, if there is a whistleblower type of situation that occurs, my gut instinct is that it will be bullshit. It will be something different than what we knew, but still designed to steer people away from what the actual truth is. This is basic controlled opposition 101. It's been done. It's not my theory. This is how operations work.
Yeah.
And when they have the media as their proxies, they can take that, whatever it is, that whistleblower information. A real whistleblower, guess what happens to them? They have to go to Russia, like Edward Snowden.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Exactly.
So a real whistleblower, when a major
Or they
operation is
disappear
involved,
completely.
yeah. So I'm not saying this to like crush conversation. I'm saying it because if you have done any research on operations, it's fairly standard. And in this case, I don't have a lot of faith that a real whistleblower is going to come forward. We'd all love it, but
Eddie
I don't know.
said the same thing, JJ, not too long ago, that if there is something that comes out on this, he's going to be very hesitant to trust it because all it's going to do, in his opinion, is just basically
Yeah.
change the
It's spinning the narrative.
change the channel to get
Yeah.
people to look in a different direction rather than going towards the truth itself. So,
Right.
which makes
and-
sense.
And to be fair, you guys are totally entitled, and I love the fact that you guys disagree with me. I disagree. I do think a legitimate whistleblower is going to come forward that saw the fuckery and things are going to blow up and to change. And I don't think it's
Oh,
just
no,
narrative
I
shaping.
agree with
I think
you.
I think it's a real thing. I think there are people who really, at the end of the day, can't live with what just happened, and they're going to come forward and they're going to say something. So
That's what I
um,
believe
right-
too.
Wow.
What is
I mean,
making you believe that? I'm just curious.
inside rumors, things that I hear from people on the inside. There's people that I'm talking to. In fact, by the way, as a teaser, I'm going to have somebody on a pre-recorded show pretty soon that claims that they're involved with feds and a regular thing. They watch our shows with that. And we're going to have a conversation. I'm going to pre-record it coming up soon. And they say the same thing. Like, look, there's a lot of people who are fucking pissed off at what happened in this case. And it's just a matter of people protecting themselves when they come forward so that they don't end up in jail for coming forward, kind of thing. So I think I feel like my inside sources, I may be wrong, but I feel like my inside sources and my gut tells me there's legitimate people who are pissed off about what happened, and it's gonna be exposed soon.
That's where I'm at with it too. And I'm not to disagree with you, JJ, but
I
like
don't.
said,
You guys can all disagree. People usually do disagree with this theory of mine. I don't mind at all. I'm just saying with national security implications. You know what happens to whistleblowers?
Yeah, they have suicides. They kill
disappear.
themselves.
Yeah.
They die usually.
By shooting themselves in the head 37 times.
Look at all the people that
Yeah.
all the people that
They
tried to come
want,
forward on the JFK case. The people that just disappeared. You know what I mean?
they'll wind up in a
Yeah.
bathtub. Yeah.
Right.
Look, I would
Oh.
love that more than anything if like a legitimate whistleblower came forward. But
Yeah.
it's in a normal case, I would say if it was just like local corruption or something, I could see it happening eventually. But when there's a case that we know this now for a fact, there were national security implications, right? That they used as a basis for redacting stuff and not providing all the
Mhm.
information. Like we all saw that
Yeah.
response that DA got. I don't think, see, my theory on a whistleblower, as I've said before, if it's going to happen, it's going to be down the road. Like when I mean down the road, I mean down the
Well,
road.
30 years.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, JJ. What if, and I agree with you, typically that's what I thought too, but what if this stuff that's coming,
DA, you're killing it.
sorry.
this stuff that's
I'm
that's coming-
sorry.
it's okay. The stuff that's coming out is getting too close to the truth and people are getting nervous, okay? If that's that's why I believe that it is very plausible that it could be. If things are getting too close to the truth and people are getting nervous that they may be exposed, at
They
some
might cover
point-
their ass. Is that what you're saying?
Basically, yeah, in a sense. That's how I see it could be possible, in my opinion.
Captain 11, what say you on this?
From stuff that I've never been involved in anything to this magnitude, I would love it for a whistleblower to come forward, but I've just seen too many times that I think they're just gonna spin the narrative a different direction. I would love it.
It makes sense.
I would love to be wrong, but I think I'm actually more on JJ's side
Well-
with this one.
It makes sense. It does, because what could it cause? That's what we have to look at.
Yeah.
If the absolute and actual truth were to come out, and that's what we don't know, what would the outcome be? How serious of would the implications be towards who, and how bad would it be for those people and for anything around it? That's why you have to look at that and wonder what it would be. Would it be that bad that they would absolutely have to keep spinning this narrative to keep it away from the truth? Or is it something that could be dealt with?
I think
Okay.
you're the first thing, man. I think it's so bad that it would implicate things and a really wide base
Sure.
of corruption.
Right.
I
Like you're
could see
gonna
that.
wind up having like, lawyers, judges, all kinds of different higher people like that. That's what I would tend more to believe in a whistleblower if it was more like what JJ said, if it was more of a localized kind of thing. But with with the national being having that national security type involvement,
makes
with
sense.
CIs and all kinds of stuff.
And
And
I'm go ahead, Lee.
I was just gonna answer Teresa. I will only say that I won't divulge sources. I will only say this. I've been told by multiple inside sources that I'm talking to, whistleblowers are coming forward, and we will see them in the next couple of months. So maybe you can say we don't believe it, and that's fine. I get why you wouldn't believe it, but I've at least been told multiple whistleblowers are coming forward very soon.
Well,
I mean,
that doesn't
and
mean
I'm-
that they
No,
might
right.
be bogus whistleblowers.
That's what I get what you're saying. What JJ's been saying is they may be coming forward, but what JJ's saying is that he doesn't believe that they're going to put out the absolute real truth to this. That
Right.
they're just going to take it and spin it in another direction.
Yeah.
To get everybody looking that way now instead of what's actually over here. Again.
Right.
And it does make sense. I get what you're saying.
Because think about it, if it
Right,
is a CI,
right.
if it's a CI stuff, or maybe there's more CI, they're not gonna allow a whistleblower to come forward and reveal a whole thing with CIs and all. That's not gonna happen.
Well,
It's
okay,
not
let me
gonna
give an
happen.
example. Let me give a quick example of something, for instance. Like, let's say, for instance, that local or even higher up law enforcement was working in depth, and I mean in depth, and has been for a long time with a cartel or something. Okay, that has pretty bad implications there. That could cause a whole shitload
Yeah.
of craziness to blow up. So if they're protecting an investment for one, okay,
Right.
and a
Right.
relationship that has been there for years in
Exactly.
turn, and somebody were to blow on that, guess what? That can't happen. That would
It's not.
destroy. It's going to crumble an
Yeah.
empire
I
of
mean,
sorts.
right.
So
They're
I
not gonna allow
understand.
it.
I truly
Right.
understand them
They're
avoiding
oh,
that at
right,
all
right.
costs.
Right.
Go ahead,
They're gonna
Robin.
allow
I
We jumped on you.
I
Yeah, sorry.
understand, with Chris Wickham being a Fed and former Fed, and you're
Right.
never really a former Fed. JJ knows because he's
Right.
But no. But seriously, I'm of the opinion I am okay in the writing world. I'm what's called a pantser, and what that means is when I'm writing, I just I have a blank page and I can just tell the story, and that's how I'm just holding back kind of, and I believe there are whistleblowers will come forward. I really do. When that'll happen, I'm not sure, but the thing that I'm waiting to see, I'm very good at pattern recognition, and part of that is due to the fact of the way that I write. So you can kind of see the bullshit when it starts happening. So that's my stance is I'm like kind of
Mhm.
in the middle of all you guys. I'm willing to sit back and watch for the patterns. So
And I get it. I'm like I go both directions. I
Yeah.
understand. I
Right.
understand where 1 and JJ are with this because we've seen it happen
yeah,
many times in the past. But at the same
sure,
time, with everything that's been going on, I just wonder. I'll say it that way. I wonder if it's very
sure,
possible that it is going to happen. You know what I mean? If it,
yeah,
depending on the magnitude of this of what the situation is, how
right,
bad are the implications going to be? How high does it go? Who's involved? That's where I'm kind of like in the midst of it, in the middle with it. So I get
right,
what you're saying too,
and
Robin. 100%.
that's where each piece that we find will help us put those puzzles in place so that
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
whistleblowers do come forward, it will give us clues as to whether they are on the up and up or whether
Right.
they're blowing smoke up all of our asses.
Yeah.
Like,
And
think about
Good
who the
language.
director of the FBI is. What have they done?
Cash Patel.
Yeah. I mean,
cause
look at
chaos.
the
Yeah,
cases that they were responsible for and what has happened. It always
yeah,
trickles down. And if
yep.
there were Fed stuff involved or in this area, I don't have a lot of faith that they're going to allow any kind of real information to get to the public.
No, and
Well,
that makes
hey,
perfect sense.
I mean, I get it. And at the end of the day, we're all just going to have to wait and see what happens. I think I totally get that if it was a colossal organization, if it was tracking drugs across the Mexican border, that
Right.
kind of thing, national security kind of thing, that the truth will probably never come out. I get that. By the same token, I think that if it was just a local thing, like, for example, a cop maybe inappropriately having a relationship with somebody and whatever, that probably will come out. So at the end of the day, the question is, how big of an operation is this? Is
Exactly.
it, well, and,
Right,
and so what level of cover up is there? So you're right. Like
right,
at some level, if it's a national security type thing, then yeah, we'll never know the thing. But if it's something that's localized,
Well,
then maybe we will.
But
just do
and
an interview with Dylan. You'll get the answer.
the problem
there you
is
go.
that the problem is that they did slap a national security tab on this. So
Yeah.
that's why it's going to be difficult. Okay, let's say it happens in June, okay, and everything blows up in June. Now the problem is going to be, do we trust it? We all see it. We all wanted
Right.
it to happen. Here it is. Now what do we do with it? Is it real or is this what JJ
Well,
said? You know what I
and
mean?
that's where knowledge is power. And that's
Right.
why these FOIAs are important. That's why, gathering every little bit. And people say, well, what does it matter in the long run? Listen, people, this could be you. This
You're
could be
right.
me. This could be someone you love. That's the point, is that if we don't hold people accountable and speak up, they're just going to keep doing this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to happen again and again, as it has for years, like
Yeah.
I said. So,
Right. Centuries. Yeah.
very, very good points. It's been a really good conversation tonight, truly and
Yeah.
honestly.
Great
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. I think we probably should wrap up pretty soon. What do you guys think? Because it's again past my bedtime or some shit like that.
I
don't know.
thought we were just getting started.
Yeah.
Come on, Crimes After Dark until the sun rises.
Yeah, I have to get up at the crack
I'll be
of
asleep
dawn.
on camera. I'll be like Twiz.
How could there be national security issues? That's a
I've
great
seen Twiz
question,
lately.
Nancy. Great question. Why is there a tag on it with national security issues? That's, I think everybody wants to know the answer to that.
Yeah.
It's a very bad case. It's a murder case. Okay, four people, young people murdered, but that's what it should be. It shouldn't have a national security label on it. There's the problem.
And that's where you can't tell me it doesn't have something to do with drugs. One way or another. That is my ultimate theory that I will not waver from until you can prove otherwise.
More
You
and
gotta-
more, I
It
think
has something to do with it. In one
You
way,
gotta-
either
shape,
drugs.
or
Yeah.
form.
Yeah.
You have to look at who's involved. The
Right.
organizations or the entities involved. The FBI, the DEA at some point, the Homeland Security, the Secret Service was brought in because of stealth stuff or whatever.
Right.
But there's a multiple agencies involved in this. You guys, ISP,
Right.
Latah County, too many, and that's a lot of agencies to be involved in. And granted, I'm not trying to downplay it and say it's just a murder case, but there's something else involved in this that is making it very hard to accept that it's just what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Tiggy, good
absolutely.
one.
Tiggy. You guys
Crimes
need
of
to change your
Twilight.
name to
Change your
Crimes
name
of
to Crimes
Twilight.
of Twilight.
What do you mean we never talk after dark? Because the shifting
Dark
time
out
zone?
right now.
Oh, sons of bitches. I don't know. All right.
Look, the
Crimes
whole
after
national
Twilight.
security thing. Excuse me. I think that, well, as I've said before, there was something a lot bigger than even we could imagine, and I think this is just speculation. Allegedly, the universities were involved, right? So they were working in conjunction with these agencies. And that right there is a very damning thing. Oh,
Right.
you're doing your research, your government funded research, and you're through your programs that you've put in place in these college areas, you put students at risk, right? So it wouldn't just be, in my opinion, like one angle, like this is the national security thing. I think cover-ups can be for multiple reasons when different interests are involved. And that's why oftentimes it's very difficult to ever get to the truth, because there's powerful forces that tend to coalesce together when there's big things at stake.
Piece of
Yeah.
cheese. I'm paying attention to you, buddy. What do you
What? Piece of cheese? Nobody pays attention to me? What? Come on, say shit. Say it now. Say it. Say it. Say it loud, piece of cheese.
Bring it on, cheese.
You got our full attention. Like you got the full Monty now.
I watch the chat. I try, but it's hard because you got conversations going, and I do see a lot of people's comments and stuff, but it's hard
Yeah.
to always jump on it.
Yeah. All right. Well, did a piece of cheese. Rugs. Oh my God. First of all, drugs. I'll just say it.
Yeah,
Drugs.
yeah.
All right.
We're adults. We can say it.
The IT company that Kaylee was going to work for, same IT company ran by the 1122 King Road owners and managers. Yeah, I'll have to look into that more as far as that goes. The IT company that Kaylee was working for out of Texas, that's one thing. I think it was a kind of a router-based company. Her father also is in IT, I think, as well. Shit, I've been in IT my whole life as well. Not my whole life, a long portion of my career. So I don't know. I'll look into the connections on that. I do think drugs are a major portion of this. I really do. Look, it's one of two things. So it's actually one of three things. I do believe Kaylee Gonzalez was the target of the hit as far as the rage kill. It was an overkill. So Kaylee means something to this crime. And that means either a jealousy motive, an extortion, because we talked about the extortion element, or she talked. She said something to a cop and she ratted out on somebody, and it was a drug hit kind of thing. I think those are the likely scenarios in this situation. And drugs seem to be a big one because, again, the throat slitting could be an indication of you talked. It could be more of a message to the Gonzalez family, could be a message to Steve Gonzalez, could be those kind of things. So I don't know. What I will say again, and I know people get tired of hearing this, is I don't believe it's what they told us it was. I don't think one person committed the crime. I think it's impossible for one. In fact, I think it's flat out impossible for one person to have done everything that they said happened in that house. The cleanup event, all that, it's impossible. It's impossible. So therefore, Brian Koberger, at a minimum, had to have lied. He did not do it by himself. If he was there at all, he didn't do it by himself. So then where does that leave us? Other people were involved and they're walking free to this day. And that bugs me. That bugs me tremendously. And I think everybody's lying. And I don't know why they're lying and allowing people to walk free that they know damn well were involved in this crime. So it makes you wonder.
Well, again, I just want to point this out, and I can back this up with books that I've read and research that I've done. Agencies, quote unquote, I'm not going to name anybody specifically. Agencies have throughout history partnered with other organizations for if it served their agenda, right? So this is not my theory. This is very, very well established. So if something like that was going on, then you sure as hell wouldn't want that to get out to the public.
All right, let's stop about Cheryl Renee. Right. Renee, it sounds like Cheryl Renee is criticizing us. So Embry, I agree. This group needs to research what is the WB rules. So the WB rules regulations before they discuss on a panel. So I would like to ask you to clarify what is the WB rules. It sounds like you don't think we should have the right to talk about things until we research something. So let's make sure we understand what it is you're talking about, because maybe we have researched it. I'm just curious. So can you clarify for us real quick what it is that we're not understanding? Warner Brothers rules? No, somebody's just guessing that. I think somebody's being funny.
Whistleblower
rule.
Ah, okay. Okay, so you're saying that we shouldn't talk about whistleblowers until we understand what the rules are for whistleblowers. That's interesting. That's fair. I think I do know some of the rules of whistleblowers, but that's fair. I'm just looking to see if there's a follow-up for clarification.
Yeah, I don't see anything yet. I'm sure that is a long list of regulations.
There's generally protections for whistleblowers that protect them from certain things.
Yeah.
Because of that very reason, people want to know. They want to protect whistleblowers. If you're going to come forward and they don't want you to get, crucified for telling the truth. And generally, we have whistleblower rules.
It's backstage if you want to throw it up real fast.
Okay.
Whistleblower rights in the U.S., in Idaho. Learn about it. It gives the whole thing here. Protections for whistleblowers, key federal whistleblower laws, the False Claims Act, the OSHA Whistleblower Protections, Dodd-Frank Act. There's all sorts of this, guys. And all you got to do, if you want to look it up, is look into the, just type it in, whistleblower laws and rules for Idaho or United States.
But what I'm asking is, what are they're suggesting we shouldn't talk about whistleblowers until we understand the whistleblower rules. What are we missing? What are we missing? Are you saying whistleblowers
each state has their own, I mean, there's a lot to know. So if we waited to talk about a topic until we had thoroughly researched it and could write a dissertation, know.
Yeah. And I've looked at this before. That's why I had it so fast. There are some rules and laws, so on and so forth, but
whistleblowers don't deserve protection. If you're a snitch, you're a bitch. Really?
Jesus, Donnie.
Really? Like, so if somebody does something illegal and you say something about it, you're a bitch for talking about illegal activity. You're just a little bitch. Like, you shouldn't snitch. If somebody does something illegal, you need to shut the fuck up because snitches are bitches. I don't know.
There's a like a
Hmm.
federal thing on this now, and so on and so forth to protect whistleblowers. I've looked into it. I have. And I don't think we're on the outside of the spectrum with it. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, I
Um,
think the first comment there is conflating two different things. There, when you
Yeah.
have a highly sensitive operation with national security, is very different from a whistleblower for a company or for
Yeah.
a particular corporation or a local municipality or something like that. Is very different than something to do with a case that has
Right.
multi-agency operations tied to it potentially. And so, I mean, look at history. We don't even need to talk about it. I mean, look what happens to these big whistleblowers from corporations that all of a sudden, so many of them seem to commit suicide. I mean, come on, you have to look at reality too, and look at the way the world actually works, as opposed to rules that are written on a piece of paper. It's like wink, wink, nod, nod. It's like, yeah, oh yeah, these are the whistleblower rules, but really, on a large scale, have they been followed? Have
Yeah.
these whistleblowers been protected before the trials that they were supposed to speak at?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, you could have rules on on a paper that it doesn't mean anything if they're not enforced.
Yeah, I mean, we're not talking about a snitch in a local gang or in
No.
prison. We're talking about a
No.
case that has been labeled clearly as having national security implications. So the question is, what we're really asking is why, and that is at the core of everything, because that would explain a lot of other things, about a cover-up scenario.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I will say this: we will take it upon ourselves to bone up on whistleblower rules in Idaho, so that we're more educated when we talk about what whistleblowers can and can't do. So that's fair. I mean, to be fair, like I'm totally okay with that. I would love to educate ourselves a bit more about the whistleblower rules in Idaho in particular. So
But
thank you.
remember, national security is a little bit different than standard
Right.
whistleblower stuff.
So, yeah, and whistleblowers
Right.
before Congress have different rules. If you're
Yep.
before the U.S. Congress, you have
Right.
different rules. Whistleblowers, by the way,
So-
in Congress, is just an aside. In Congress, top secret stuff. Whistleblowers are allowed to talk about top secret stuff if top secret stuff is illegal. Like
Yes.
a whistleblower could come forward to Congress and say, "I know this is top secret, but what you're doing is illegal and a violation of the United States Constitution." And there's
Right.
protections against
Right.
people who reveal illegal fuckery that the government does to violate the United States Constitution. So the whistleblower stuff can get really nuanced, especially.
Well, Edward Snowden was releasing
yeah,
information about invasion of privacy of
Right.
citizens, and look what
Right.
happened to him. They charged him with, violating
Treason.
the Espionage Act. So
Yep.
they say one thing and they do another, and I've seen it too many times to think it'll be any different going forward.
I don't want to sidetrack because I know we're trying to wrap up, but I didn't Trump say was it somebody suggested that Snowden could be pardoned and come back to the United States? But was that just my imagination?
That was just campaign horseshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever the case may be, let's wrap up for the evening. Again, what I'm trying to avoid is everybody cutting out super, super quick when we start getting to long closing. So we're not going to do long closes anymore. Do you guys have any thoughts as a group for tonight's show and what you think about in general? Let's not do like one person each. And now I don't know how to do this with one in his movie trivia because I don't want to lose the movie trivia. By the way, I do want to start moving this to music trivia. I think we do like 80s and 90s music trivia, but I don't know. Do you have trivia tonight?
No, I don't.
Okay, good. All right.
I don't.
For now, good. Let's
Yes.
just kind of wrap up quick. Do you guys have any
Yeah.
thoughts that you want to say about tonight's show as a group?
I think it was an
Great
amazing
combo.
conversation. Amazing
Yeah, it was.
conversation.
And I
Yeah,
think
it
it's
was.
super. I think I find it super interesting. We have 5 people right on the panel right now, and Robin's down the middle, and it seems
Yeah.
like Lee and Dago are
Yep.
on the side of the whistleblower, and
Right.
me and JJ are on.
You're like, it's
Yeah.
not going to happen. No,
Yeah.
that shit's not going to. Yeah, it is great. I think varying opinions is what makes this panel so
Yeah.
special.
Yeah.
Because if we were all an echo chamber, some people accuse us of being an echo chamber. I don't think we're an echo chamber.
No.
We have
No.
panelists
No
who
way.
disagree with
No.
each other. So I think that's
No.
great. I think it's great.
And the fact that we can do it and do it civilly
Sure.
says that it can
Thank
happen
you.
other places that way too.
It should
Yeah,
always happen that
absolutely.
way, no matter what. We're all here for the
Absolutely.
same damn reason and shouldn't
Yeah.
be for
Right.
any other reason, folks. So that's why there's no
Right.
need for any of that.
All righty. On that note, thank you, panelists, for coming and being part of the show. Thank you for all of the large crew that we had. We had a pretty good night tonight for
Yes.
audience. Thank you for the other channels that stopped in to say hi during the night, during our chat, and just welcome us. So we are trying to build a community. We support your channels, and I see that you support our channels.
Yes.
So much love. Thank you for the donations that came in tonight. We had great donations and support. So thank you all for what you guys are doing. Let's go try to make a difference. Let's see what happens. I think the next couple of months in Idaho are going to be crazy. And also, I'm probably going to be diving a little bit more into that Sandra Birchmore story, because I think that story is worth exploring because of the connections and staged crime scenes, officers doing things inappropriate, and people just kind of writing that off and looking the other way.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden you have a whole big shit stuff.
Great stuff to ask Turvey.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I can't wait till Turvey. I can't wait till Turvey comes on the Custody Queens and does that interview. I know he's gonna continue that. So.
Great.
All right, everybody, have a great night. Thank you
Have a
so
great
much.
night, everybody. Thank you for
Thank you,
joining us
Dave.
tonight.
Bye,
Take it
everybody.
easy.
Thank you, moderators.